Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 145 of Pokerole. We are in Savannah Town, doing a bit of a break. This little episode series. I think we've been in Savannah. We've been in Savannah Town 1 or 2 episodes at this point. And I think
this is the third.
I think it's 2 so far. So this is episode 3 of that. I'm not sure how long we'll be in Savannah Town this time, but we got some interesting things happening last time. Someone got drunk, and it wasn't Ralph this time. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. I also know that Rya is a little frantic right now. We're gonna see what happens with that today. But before we start up, if you like the video, that's the wrong button. If you like the video, that doesn't matter what button I press. You can always hit the like button, and if you really like the video, you can always hit the subscribe button, and keep an eye on other things we make. There's also a if you really want to help out, yes, you can go to Twitch, watch this stuff live, whether it be Pokerole or other stuff we do. You can also join the Discord if you'd like to check out the cool community we have over there. And of course, the Pokerole Discord specifically that we have can be accessed from the main one. There is also a Ko-fi link if you want to help directly monetize the content. I will briefly say that we are in the middle of a moving donation drive, as you can see at the bar at the top. We are trying our best to get this filled as soon as possible through the course of May here, so that we can finally get a move going. We need a little extra money to basically satisfy landlord conditions in the area we're moving to, because they require having multiple months of rent back in advance to basically accept you, which is a little bit silly, because it's like 4 months or something. It's like a lot. But yeah, help us out if you can. If you can't, I understand. But thanks if you can. Any donations will go to it right now. So also, there is also a merch store if you want to buy some cool little merch things. And of course, to finish off, you can go over to our PokePioneers mirrorhees.org link if you want to find out more stuff about the game and get episode recaps, character descriptions, and the like for Pokerole. That being said, I hand it over to you, Kar, and show a bit of art.
Welcome, everybody, to the table. Last time was session 144, Food for Thought. Ralph soon arrives at the clubhouse with Mawile, and approaches Rise to greet him and present him with a sample of the noodle fruit. Rise is curious to try preparing dishes with the fruit's unique texture, having only been brought one to use once in the past. But before they do, seems uncertain if Ralph is doing well. After Ralph assures the light part that their journey went completely fine with no major issues whatsoever, Rise relents and gets started trying to figure out something to cook with the fruit. They could literally make it into noodles. That is something you can do with squash. Tucker is next to arrive at the building, getting odd stares as he enters before people recognize the badge on him and Puppy at his side. As Tucker approaches the counter and greets Ralph and Mawile, Rise notices the different yet familiar voice and asks Tucker if they're alright. After Tucker tells Rise they evolved, the live part freezes before worriedly turning around to see how Tucker looks, only for his worry to fade away as he gushes over how beautiful Tucker looks in his new form. Tucker and Ralph then go on to explain to Rise how they felled Corpse Fang, giving Rise some form of relief after seeing Tucker's comfort in speaking about the topic. As Tucker and Rise plan to spend some time catching up after he's finished his work, Tucker remembers to ask Rise if he could prepare some food for Rya, Liar, and Puppy, which he swiftly orders Hot Dog to start preparing behind him. Tucker does recognize, however, that Rise does not seem fully content with hearing about what happened to Corpse Fang, noticing the light part's smile is not entirely genuine. Brooke enters the clubhouse and approaches the counter where everyone is to ask if they were here to eat too. The team begins engaging in friendly banter, and Ralph and Tucker acknowledging Brooke's new knife and bandaged hand before he can explain what he'd just been doing with Blaze. Rise cheekily quips over Blaze getting back into forging again as he returns to the counter to hand Tucker the meals he'd asked for. With the party fully convened, the topic turns to figuring out what things to report to Pangoro when they go to inform him of their return. Following a suggestion from Rise, the team makes the decision to let Tucker leave to take the salads Rise prepared, hot dog prepared. I'm sure I said something like Rise prepared it, but it's totally hot dog who prepared it. To Rya and Lyre, and have Mawile take his position while the others report to Pangoro. Tucker thanks the group and takes Puppy with him back to the base after they finish their food. Tucker soon returns to Riley's room, where Lyre and Rya have already begun to rest. He approaches the two and asks if they are asleep, prompting Rya to sit up and look towards Tucker. The Mighty Anna hands one of the salads to Rya and places the other next to a sleeping Lyre, explaining that the berries inside should help to improve their recovery. Rya thanks them and asks if he could bring them a bowl of water as they start to eat the salad. Tucker fetches a bucket and places it to their side before asking if there was anything else he could do for them. Rya thinks and then asks if Tucker could take the robot head they'd taken from the laboratory and asks Blaze if he could turn it into a helmet of sorts. Tucker puts the helmet into his bag and agrees to the request. The two continue to talk for a while, discussing the condition of the others and the observer they had encountered in the lab, until Tucker decides to leave and let Rya get more rest. However, instead of resting, Rya decides to secretly use the bucket of water and Scry to try and listen in on the party's report to Pangoro, finding using the medium of water much more difficult than using their ore. As Brooke and Ralph go with Mawile to report to Pangoro, Ralph senses as something familiar tries to spy on them, but chooses not to mention it to the others. When they enter Pangoro's office, they quickly begin to inform him of the events of their expedition, explaining that they decided to return to recover from the incident at the ruins before they resume travel to the Mesa. As Pangoro hears the party mention what they did at Corpse Bank, he informs them that the news of the Mighty Anna's defeat had already made its way to Savantown, and that the achievement had at least allowed them to get Chatot to be more lax with his remaining examinations. Then, when he hears the team talk about the laboratory under the observatory, say that 5 times fast, and the disappearing Oranguru and Bassimian, Pangoro informs them of how, while he cannot confirm that it is the same group, that a similar group had been spotted in the prairie. He will advise any pioneers to avoid interaction with them if possible. Lastly, the team asks about if Mr. Baggs and the other ghosts from the mansion had returned, which Pangoro reluctantly tells them that they have already begun taking care of the children, even if they are creating far more mess and messing around with the rooms than he would have preferred. With all matters addressed and discussed, Brooke tells Pangoro that they will leave in a few days to go to the Mesa, and the team exits his office. With the meeting concluded, Rya turns their attention to try and scry with something else, trying to locate the Lucario automaton they had attached Eternal's mark to during their battle. Rya sees a vision of the machine, a vision of flying upwards into some metallic structure. It looks down from some sort of viewing platform, seeing a cerulean curve beneath it. The automata senses Rya's scrying and turns towards their view. When it does, the vision in the water shifts, forming a single word: waiting. As Rya tries to ponder what the message could mean, they sense an ominous presence behind them, and a pair of familiar hands cover their eyes, as they hear it utter, "Sweet dreams," before vanishing completely. Brooke makes his way to the main gate to spend some time away from his teammates, where he ends up seeing Deadeye entering the town, carrying a Rhydon carcass with him. The two express relief at seeing each other, with Deadeye having made his way here to see Brooke, having chose to do some hunting for the pioneers until Brooke had returned. The two have fun chatting at the clubhouse for a while, Brooke getting to experience his first taste of alcohol at Deadeye's invitation, as they chat over what Brooke has been doing since they last spoke. Brooke takes the opportunity to be able to vent his negative thoughts to the Heliolisk, his drink helping him be more willing to talk about it, and the two eventually decide to move their conversation towards Team Cheer's base, as the two become notably intoxicated from their drinks. And that sure was where that ended.
I'm gonna just do this because I feel like he'll be relevant. There.
Probably.
There.
Also, anytime I hear waiting now, it is synonymous with the name Penelope.
What?
Is that a reference?
Yes,
Epic
Epic
musical.
the musical.
Oh!
I've yet to listen to that, unfortunately.
It is so good.
It's pretty good.
You know, I was kind of rushing things a little bit, so I just want to double check everybody. How's everybody on the table doing today?
I'm doing just fine.
Things
Yep.
being chill for you, Kyrio? Things have been up and down for you a little bit, I know.
Oh no, things have been fine.
Cool.
April is finally over.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
April. Yes, go April.
Oh yeah, sorry. It looks like I confused somebody in the chat when I said like we're doing a May donation drive, and somebody's like, "It's not even May." Yeah, we're trying to get a head start. So, I just started it when it was best to start it, which was slightly before May, I guess. The sooner the better as far as filling that bar, because yeah, or just my leave date for this apartment is the end of May. So basically, we're trying to get the money together, which we already have a bunch, but we need a little bit more because of those requirements, you know. The housing market's kind of crazy right now. Not gonna get into that, but yeah, I need several months of rent in advance just to prove that you're like a good tenant. It's kind of silly. But yeah, that's what we gotta do, and so we can get moving because that needs to happen. So, but that's a topic for a different time. Let's see. So everybody's very scattered at the start of this episode. Because we got Ralph and Mawel hanging out. Where are they at?
So, Okay, lemonade may not have been the best choice of drink for the moment.
It's okay. I'm drinking milk, which is also a bad decision for Voiking.
The irony, given Pokemon and the history of lemonade.
I just want chalky milk.
So I do have the notes for what we were doing. Rida is panicking. They will not be able to find Brooke. This has already been established. Brooke is off having their moment with Deadeye. So that'll be interesting.
So you said Rida won't be able to find Brooke, right?
Correct.
But wasn't Brooke coming back to the clubhouse? That was also in the recap.
I imagine Brooke and Deadeye were already there, and Rida just panicked and left without looking in my office.
So, Rida began scrying the automata directly after the meeting. That scry did not take nearly as long because it's not like Rida was watching, the feature-length movie that was the meeting, basically, effectively. So, Brooke would have been at the gate waiting. So I can imagine Rida running out and not finding them. However, I know that Tucker was going to go to Blaze. That means that Tucker, during the time that Rida was watching the meeting, went out to Blaze, who was cleaning things up at the forge. So, in the order of these things, Tucker's scene with Blaze is going to go first, and then we will go from there.
Car? I believe Tucker didn't leave the clubhouse yet. He was with Puppy in the clubhouse before going to Blaze.
Correct?
Because the explanation was that Ryder was supposed to run into Tucker before he technically left to Blaze.
Assuming that Tucker did not immediately go to Blaze with Puppy in tow.
So I believe Tucker made the most traveling in the last episode because Tucker went from clubhouse to Tucker went from RHQ to the clubhouse to get some food. Hung out, loitered out there a little bit while things were being made. It's got the food, brought it back to Rida, and then stuck around a little bit. And Rida asked for water, and then Tucker got Rida water, and then Tucker was going to head out to do the guy handed the helmet, was going to head out to go to Blaze, but wasn't exactly rushing either. So there, I think as far as errands go, I think Tucker had the most. Oh, did Tucker pick up Puppy in the last episode, or was that the 2 episodes ago?
Tucker picked up Puppy 2 episodes ago, because Puppy was with them when they got to the clubhouse.
Right, okay.
So they do have Puppy with them. So if you decide to put off, seeing Blaze, because that's not exactly a priority task, that is understandable.
I think that Tucker would have probably, after being handed the helmet and making sure Rida was good, would probably have left the HQ to go see Blaze, yeah. Having nothing. Well, there is one more thing Tucker needs to figure out, and that's the puppy problem. But that's something where, probably Tucker needs to talk to Brooke and see what Brooke suggests too. Not that Brooke's exactly in the right situation for that right now, but not that Tucker knows that yet.
It might be a while.
Tucker doesn't know where Brooke is either, so probably.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Brooke just kind of slipped in amongst things at a time where nobody was watching, basically.
But, yeah. So, do not worry, Hydra. Rida will be able to run into Tucker. Because I assume that Tucker's not going to go far, even after the Blaze situation.
Oh, no, it's fine either way. I was just saying what I remembered.
Yeah.
No, I remember that's what we discussed, but also my brain is a brain.
I know that Rida would be seeking out Brooke because Rida's kind of in a panic, but the one place Rida knows somebody will be is probably Tucker at Blazes, because literally Rida just suggested Tucker go there. So Rida probably knows that's where Tucker's going, and that is indeed where Tucker is going.
Yes. So, Tucker, you leave HQ. Blaze is still at the forge. Generally speaking, he is cleaning things up. It's not a process that should take him very long, but also he's being very meticulous about it. And he has not done a whole lot of forging in years, so he's doing it right.
So yeah, gotta clean the forge right. Gee. Did Rida have a specific request regarding the helmet, or just basically seeing if it could, be refitted for Rida? I forget.
Rida wanted the android head refitted into a viable helmet.
Viable helmet for them. Okay. Alrighty. So starting the scene with Tucker then?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, wouldn't be a long walk. Tucker would, not knowing the panic that Rida's in because they left, have a pretty leisurely walk over to, back to the clubhouse to go see Blaze, who is indeed working outside, so he's not hard to find, especially if he's in the middle cleaning up and stuff. So Tucker will approach Blaze and basically just kind of do that Tucker thing of having a friendly approach and just waiting to see when somebody isn't busy so that they can have a conversation.
Blaze will look up from what they're doing. They're currently cleaning a very sooty pair of tongs. Can I help you?
Tucker would clear his throat and say, hi Blaze, looks like you're just finished doing some work, but Rida wanted me to ask about this helmet, if it could be refitted for them. And Tucker will produce the helmet.
He's going to stare at this helmet, which, by the way, you do have the android blade arm you can give to Blaze if you want.
True. In a second. Oh, I guess. Oh, sorry.
Kind of looks like there's already a head in it. They're going to take the android head from you, inspecting it over.
Tucker will cock his head and look at it too. I guess it still does, yeah. Is that a problem?
I mean, you're not gonna fit your own head into it. I mean, it depends. How much do they want to save from this thing?
Tucker thinks for a second and remarks, I don't think we care too much about the mechanics of that. It's just need a good helmet. At least that's what I assume Ryder wants.
The Charizard sighs and shrugs, tossing the helmet, tossing the android head between his hands. Sure, fine, I guess. Not exactly the best armor smith, but I'll give it a whirl.
Tucker thinks for a second. More into weapons, right? Actually, and Tucker will produce the blade, where is it? Yes, Android Blade RC. What is it called? C? I don't remember why it's called C.
Cyrillich.
Cyrillich, right? It's actually okay. And Tucker will produce that and show it to Blaze. I'm not sure if I could wield something like a sword, but this blade did catch my attention. Where we found, well, it's from the same place we found the head.
He'll hold the I keep calling it helmet. He'll hold the head in one hand, then take the blade arm in another. It is not lost on him that these probably came from the same place. You know, matching colors and all. I mean, I can see what I can do with this. It looks like the first part of a sword without the sword.
Tucker
He's
thinks
going
for
to,
a
like,
second.
stare into the hole, or like the vertical slit.
Yeah, we fought some creatures that use this on their arm, so I think it was supposed to be attached to them, which is probably why it doesn't look finished.
Like a scyther?
Sort of.
Well, you're also missing a handle, which would make it harder for you to hold even in your mouth.
Yeah, if it can't be salvaged, you could just use the metal for something else. But I wasn't sure if it was good quality or not. I'm not exactly the blacksmith here.
Glad somebody recognizes that. That's fine. I'll take a look and see what I can come up with.
Tucker nods. Alright, thanks, please.
You're welcome. Honestly, I should be thanking you guys. I hadn't thought about the family business for a good long while.
Tucker sort of smiles.
And here I just got everything cleaned. Whatever. I'll go back to my closet and look at this stuff. I'm not planning to fire up the forge again today anyway.
Tucker nods. There's no rush. I'm sort of curious about the sword. I'm not sure if I would be the sort to, the mighty Anna raises a forepaw, wield it that great, but I suppose if there's some sort of grip I could use with my teeth, I could hold pretty securely.
That I can do. You'd be surprised how many quadrupeds came to my father for equipment. And then his demeanor drops. He sighs, looks the usual grumpy quartermaster that you know and love, and begins trundling off towards the clubhouse.
Tucker will give a polite little quadrupedy bow and leave Blaze to that. After saying one more thing.
Meanwhile, Puppy is running around. They are a little ball, well, not so little ball of energy.
And Tucker was watching the whole time to make sure they didn't knock over some heavy smithing equipment or something. Also, out of character, sorry if I was fumbling that a bit. The whole pacing myself thing, I'm a little dizzy still, so I hope I did okay.
You did great.
Yeah, you did fine.
I don't think I've had Tucker to Blaze interactions before, so I was trying to also find a cadence. I don't remember if this has ever happened, actually. I think at this point that, seeing as there's something else to be done right now, Tucker would probably head back to the HQ at this point. There's been a lot of walking around today for Tucker, so probably enough errands for right now.
Tucker goes inside to relax. Tucker will get to relax for X number of minutes before Rya. Hey Rya, how are you barreling downstairs?
So Rya definitely has like their scythe in one hand as a walking cane, while their other is like clenched on their chest. They're just like trying to hovel as quick as they can, obviously straining themselves.
That's totally not dangerous to do on the stairs.
Oh, yeah, have a bladed weapon as a crutch going downstairs. That sounds like a recipe for just absolute disaster. What is Lyre's been with Rya, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is Lyre coming with you, or what's Lyre doing?
Lyre was eating. Or, like, either asleep or eating, last I remember.
Asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're taking a nap, and I don't think Rya woke up.
Well, I feel like Rya running out in a panic might have woke them, but also they don't know what's going on, so they just see the salad and go, ooh, food, and start eating.
This is fair. They should eat their salad. Yeah, Tucker will basically just about have a little plop down on a carpet to relax with Puppy when Rya is clunking probably sort of loudly downstairs with their walking cane scythe very unsafely. So Tucker will rise back to their feet and look at Rya as they're coming down the stairs with just a cocked head and an inquisitive expression, since Rya does have to pass Tucker to leave, basically.
Mm-hmm. And as Rya sees Tucker, and they sort of quickly try and step down off the stairs before saying anything. And once they reach the bottom of the stairs, sort of take a moment to breathe and look at you. Tucker, where is Brooke? I must find him immediately.
I imagine the breathing's done by now, but I don't know where he is right now. Or Ralph, for that matter. What's wrong? You seem panicked. Did something happen?
We must walk and talk. There is no time.
Alright. Tucker
And,
will
Rya's
make
gonna
a
head
little
toward
bit
the
of a
door.
sigh, because Tucker was looking forward to laying on the rug for a second. But we'll go with you.
Hey Rya, give me a vitality check.
Oh yeah, please. Honestly, I'm okay if this fails.
Also, sorry I interrupted you. What was Rya doing?
Oh no, they're just making their way straight for the door. They're
Oh.
like, I have a mission.
Well,
Rya, breathing is hard.
Fair.
It's not enough to stop you, but your breathing is far more labored than the usual.
Tucker's floppy ear perks up to that, and he does remark before you get out the door, You're still not well. Can I at least give you a ride?
Rida sort of looks over at Tucker and then back down towards them. I suppose it'd be quicker that way. And they'll try their best to get onto Tucker's back.
Tucker will go low and allow you to get back on. And besides, I don't think you limping around town with a scythe would really make anybody feel comfortable.
Now, to be fair, the scythe does fold, and it is folded. That doesn't make it
good.
less dangerous.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. After Rida sort of settles in a bit, they'll immediately sort of gesture to continue onwards. Just basically walk around aimlessly so we can hopefully find Brooke. And at that point, they'll actually start to fill you in a bit as you're walking.
Tucker is glad that you hopped on
it to me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say just a little note that another reason Tucker wanted you on his back was so that he didn't have to watch both wherever you went to frantically limp to, as well as watching Puppy running around as well.
Fair, very fair.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. I used the water you gave me to practice my scrying. Without my orb, it was a bit more difficult, but I managed to take a look at the meeting that was going on between Brooke, Ralph, and Pangoro.
Tucker will be interested in that and express, did it go well, or?
It seemed to go well enough. That's not the point. Afterwards, I wish to see if my other abilities were still intact, specifically the one Eternatus gave me to mark a foe. And it gave me a hint as to where the Kyrio was, and so I attempted to scry on them. And unfortunately, I was too successful.
Hold on a second. Did Rida mention to anybody that the mark was done on the Lucario?
Nope.
Didn't think so. Okay. Tucker will react with some surprise to that news. When did you get a mark off with everything that happened to you? Well, nice job, but... Well, what did you see?
I found the location of where they are at the moment. And Rida just sort of gently grabs the side of your head and tilts it upwards.
Tucker looks upwards and actually does completely go to a halt when you say that you know where they are. You know where they've been doing everything? Wait, what do you mean? That's this guy.
They reside in a place we are not to mention.
They're there.
Indeed.
But how?
And I'm uncertain, though I have an inkling it has something to do with the visitor that stopped by. You see, while I was scrying, someone saw me back and managed to teleport their way directly to me.
Wait, right into the clubhouse?
Instantaneously, yes. Based off their remarks, it's why I'm so eager to find Brooke.
Tucker does a low growl. Can they just come and go wherever they please? He sounds pretty
Clearly
upset.
that is the case.
I see why you want to hurry. Well, we don't know where to look, but we know who Brooke's been talking to at least lately. Let's try talking to them. Maybe they know where Brooke went.
Very well.
And Tucker will lead you guys to... I guess back to the clubhouse would make the most sense, so... I presume that Ryder just had us wandering the streets.
Yeah, we're kind of
Yes.
just walking aimlessly. Yeah.
Which is, I didn't want to interrupt you guys. I temporarily changed the music to Locale 28.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You guys were in the middle of the moment. Also, I was imagining just a moment where Ryda grabs Tucker's head and there's the neck and bone crunching sound turning Tucker's head up to look at the sky.
You don't know your own
Tucker's like,
strength.
"Ooh." Suddenly, my neck feels much lighter.
Oh, hey, yeah. Oh, wait, it's way looser. I had that stuck for a little bit. Thanks for that, chiropractor.
But we can change to L20 now because you're going to the clubhouse.
Okay. I'll just slip the Oasis off list because I didn't actually end up playing it.
Right then. So I have a question for Ralph.
Ralph. That's also a question for Tubby. Tubby. Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Wait, I saw this mic move, or the green thing. Oh, I'm. You there, Tubby? He was having mic issues before the video, so.
Oh no.
I hope they didn't come back. Tubby, I see you. I see you trying to talk. I see the little green.
We cannot hear you, Tubby. I'm so sorry.
Yes, there is no talking. Here, let's
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, scuff.
Hold on a second.
It won't be a stream without a bit of scuff.
Alright, Tuppy, just to confirm that it's a mic issue and not a you're gone issue, just make sure to reply to the DM. Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay.
My bad. I had ambient sounds too loud, I guess.
What
Oh.
does? Oh. Ambient sounds too loud? Oh, could you not hear
Yeah.
us?
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's okay.
I'm
If you
here.
couldn't hear us, I understand. I'm sorry you couldn't hear us. Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. This is good. I wanted to ask you, where would Ralph go after the meeting with Pangoro?
Most likely home with Mawile, because he is interested to see if he can put Georgie inside of the ball toy.
Okay, so you are not going to be in the clubhouse when Tucker and Ryder go to the clubhouse. All right, That's-
And,
that is the thing that I needed to know. So, as a question to Tucker and Ryder,
Mm-hmm.
who do you plan to talk to, and how long do you plan to search?
Well, Tucker's idea was to go to the clubhouse and meet up with Rise, because Rise knows everything that happens with the kind of people come in and out. So, talk to Rise real fast and see if they might know where Brooke ended up going.
Yeah, and Ryder's sort of just following along because Tucker said he had a lead.
Okay.
So I just want to say, I like to imagine some Scooby-Doo shenanigans where we go into a building and then Brooke walks by, we walk out the building, then Brooke walks into the building.
That's basically what's going to happen, because Rise is effectively going to tell the both of you that Brooke left. He doesn't know where Brooke left to, but they aren't in the clubhouse anymore. So I'm imagining the both of you leave and head into Savan Town. Meanwhile, Brooke is dragging a Rhyhorn corpse into the clubhouse with Deadeye. And it's entirely possible that Brooke is being hidden by the Rhyhorn corpse too, which is funny. Noodle fruit and Rhyhorn. It sounds ever so appetizing. It might be.
He's tried it before.
How about the two of you, each of you roll me vitality checks to see how long you're willing to search around town before you decide it's just better to like commit to something else, because it's not like Brooke is going to go somewhere.
This is fair. Tucker's been on his feet
Determined.
for a little. See, I know Tucker's been on his feet a little bit. Is obviously important, but also like, yeah, is it better to walk or all over the place, or is it better to wait for them to get to the clubhouse? Yeah, or the HQ.
So, Rida, you want to continue searching even after Tucker's basically done. And Tucker, you've been walking around town basically all day. Your feet are tired. And even though you can keep going, you are a durable pupper. Rida is the one riding on your back, so you kind of have final say for when the search stops.
Another thing that Tucker be watching is Puppy is full of energy, but is Puppy eventually going to get tired too? Just walking and wandering?
Less tired and more bored.
Yeah, it's just like aimless walking.
There.
Kind of
So,
plays.
while you're like going around town, possibly asking anyone if they've seen Brooke recently, Puppy may be being a very distracting nuisance, which is not helping your cause either.
Getting a little trouble because they're bored.
They're bored and they want to chew things.
Actually, you know what? Go ahead and deduct whatever you think is fair for Tucker to get them a bone midway through, just to care to keep them distracted.
Well, now he's gonna start digging.
Sure, I'll just take five coin pulls.
Now I'm imagining that Puppy probably both was trotting and gnawing on the bone at the same time, which probably looks really cute. Actually, that bone probably won't last very long, because, I mean, you guys have to remember that this isn't a standard Puchina.
Yep, just there's gnawing, and then eventually you will just, not even terribly long after getting the bone, a crunch. And yeah, that bone was not designed to endure the jaws of such a creature.
Not a saber, definitely not.
They're still gonna chew on, the halves of it. It's just harder for them to walk and do that, so it's more like Mr. Hina, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a marrow pop? A 1, a 2, a crunch, 3.
Tucker will probably, if the moment it gets split too, Tucker will probably just sigh and take one part so they could just carry the other part until they crunch it down more. But yes, eventually Tucker will kind of turn their head and kind of try to side look at Rida and say, this feels kind of not the best way to find Brooke. It might be better just to stay at the HQ and wait for Brooke to come back. I mean, he's got to come back tonight.
You see as Rida looks down at you and sort of just lets out a slight sigh as they crawl off of your back and onto their feet. Perhaps you can wait back at base for if Brooke returns. However, I must keep searching.
Tucker will make a growl over that. Not a aggressive one, but a disapproving one. No, you're just gonna waste your energy. If what you said is true, first off, you probably shouldn't be alone. If that thing could teleport to you, we don't know if it could teleport anywhere else, but it could teleport to you, and it could teleport to the HQ. That's what we know. So, strength in numbers for now, just to be safe. You need to come back with me, okay? I know you want to find Brooke as quickly as possible, but you're just going to spend all your energy looking when we could just wait and recoup, and then start making a plan.
You see as Rida sort of clenches a fist. I'd rather waste my energy than to regret not finding Brooke.
Can I roll an insight check?
Sure. Give me an insight contest perform.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Hey, Rida, is it safe to say you're not going to stop unless you're forced to?
Yes, that is very much the case.
Hey, Tucker, you know something you realize in this moment?
Mm-hmm.
You're bigger than Rida, and Rida weighs as much as a wet napkin.
Tucker will sigh and, not liking to be the argumentative or combative sort unless absolutely forced to, will pause for a moment and kind of let Rida walk off for a second, because they probably are going to start doing that, before Tucker will very resolutely step faster than Rida, pretty easy considering one of them is more injured, and once again get in their way. Rida, I'm sorry, but I know your decision you're making is, well, rash and not very good. Let's go back to the clubhouse, or let's go back to the HQ. I'm sorry, but I have to insist.
I understand, Tucker. And Ryder's going to use teleport and go past Tucker.
Go ahead and roll for teleport. I want to see if the dice favor you.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
They better not push themselves too much in doing things like this either.
Yeah. Ryder is like, yeah, I get where you're coming from, Tucker, but honestly, I have to do this.
Okay, now I need you to roll a vitality tough survival check.
Right, vitality, tough survival.
If you guys are wondering, the number one thing that makes this resolute for Tucker is the realization that if that thing is dangerous and could just teleport to Rida, then Rida being alone is just not a good idea.
Rida, you fail to teleport.
Oh.
There's a sudden pain in your chest, and you double over when you try to teleport.
Yeah, Ryder sort of just clutches their chest as they slump down onto their knees, clinging onto their scythe.
Can Tucker tell that was a teleport? I mean, Ryda's done a few of those.
Visually, it would have looked like Ryda's form briefly, flickered. You know, old 3D glasses where if you looked at things wrong, it split things into three, like a red, a green, and blue. Kind of like that, attempting to, the word I want to use is de-atomize, even though that's not how that works, and it just fails.
Accidental nuclear fission. Oops, explosion. Yeah, so it's kind of obvious what they were trying to do. Tucker will look at Rida with a look that is both kind of offended, but ultimately more concerned than anything else, because Tucker is a good boy. So they will immediately go to lower their head and catch Rida so they don't collapse. And they will make a very low and resonant growl, not aggressive, and express, "You're proving my point, Rida. Let's go back. And I don't think you can argue."
Ryder sort of just winces and tries to say something, but sort of also trying to catch their breath.
Are you gonna climb on my back, or do I have to glomp you or something and carry you back?
You see as they struggle to sort of try and push you away and kind of pitifully try and walk past you, even though they know it's not going to work.
Tucker patiently waits for you to come to the decision of listening.
They're gonna try and make their pitiful escape, as it were, of just hobbling away.
Tucker will sigh, and I must ask, is there some way... I mean, they have a very small body. Can they be clomped in some way? Mouth grabbed safely, basically?
Pick them up. Pretty much, yeah, like, what are they gonna do? They can't resist.
Okay, then, yeah, Tucker will make a bit of a sigh, feeling like this is kind of awkward, but yeah, Tucker will tilt their head and basically gallop around part of Ryda's body. Their toothers are carefully used to not hurt you, of course, but they are definitely going to basically carry Ryda like a chew toy for a little bit. And
Ryda sort of expresses very much with disdain. Put me down. I must continue searching.
No, I'm not. Tucker will say around Ryda's body. And we'll just calmly but very resolutely turn towards the HQ and start walking with Puppy back to the HQ. Hangy chew toy.
Ryda tries to pry her mouth open, realizing that's not gonna work, before they sort of just let themselves go limp. With a deep sigh.
Zach,
please allow me to continue.
Tucker sighs and doesn't try to talk around you anymore, but just does a very light shake of his head. Not enough to jostle you around, though. You can tell the sigh is sympathetic, but resolute.
I cannot fail them again. I need to find them.
Tucker's ears will droop hearing Ryda say sad things, but again, isn't going to keep trying to talk. Plus, if the talking requires mouth movements that could be pokey teeth, so it's safer not to. Instead, Tucker will just quietly take you back to the HQ as you complain, unfortunately. This probably looks extremely awkward if there's anybody on the streets, but oh well.
But eventually, seeing as you won't give in, Ryda does relent and sort of just goes limp and lowers their head in defeat.
Aw. This is for their own good, but I also feel bad.
Tough love.
this is super adorable.
Would you say this Travaria is correct, by the way? I imagine it's also pretty hard to teleport of a dark anchor. Yeah, if you got a dark type, chomping down at you, does that make it hard to use a psychic move? Obviously, this isn't a chomp.
Probably.
But...
Probably. I think most of the difficulty comes from the fact that Ryda is currently quite wounded and tired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Their body has been pushed to the limit, and they are still trying to keep going.
Unfortunately for you, Tucker has already had some experience with a personality type of this sort with Riley.
Indeed. I was just thinking that, congratulations, you're the new Riley.
And it's also funny because this is the first time Tucker could, physically force a point with such a thing because, evolution also. It feels a little strange for Tucker to be able to do this. It feels a little wrong, too. He feels bad doing it, but he also knows it's right.
Yes.
But
do the right thing.
Tucker will take Ryda back to R&R's bedroom. R&L's bedroom.
Alrighty then. And this means that you two will be going to the base. And in my head, I'm kind of imagining that Tucker just takes Ryda with them to their room or the playroom so that they can keep an eye on Puppy and Ryda at the same time.
Actually, that makes more sense. Yeah, Tucker would probably just take Ryda to Tucker's room. And honestly, probably also kind of, rest there as well as watch the door. So, Ryda's slightly imprisoning Ryda for the moment in that room. But it's comfy and,
Look, at least it's a first floor room, so you don't gotta deal with stairs, and it's right next to the garden, so you got a view.
I just realized the funniness of me saying, you're only slightly in prison. Don't worry. It's not like a fully in prison. You're just slightly in prison. I mean...
You're being detained.
Mm-hmm. And I will
Please
say,
do
Rida
not
isn't
resist.
angry at Tucker, because Rida understands, like, yes, Tucker is right. But at the same time, it visibly hurts them. And they're, like, not only in physical pain, but also the emotional pain of, oh, fuck, what if something happened to Brooke? And I'm just sitting here doing nothing about it.
I forget, Rida, weren't you trying to learn in prison?
Yep.
Cool, I'm gonna give it to you now.
Oh, yippee!
Ended up in Dog Jaws Gets in prison. I think that's a net game. Tucker will, Tucker will still talk to Rida and stuff. Actually, Tucker will be saying, once Rida's out of their jaws, Tucker will express, look, I understand your concern. And, yeah, any of us have trouble. Even as a group, we have trouble against those things, but truth of the matter is, at least while we're in town, it's less likely something will happen. And Brooke can still handle himself. The thing is, you can't. And right now, what I can do is stand guard over you. Brooke is probably with somebody right now. If he's not back here, he's probably hanging out with somebody else. I think they'll be okay for now. And once they're back, we can fill them in and get everybody ready. Right now, you need to heal. And that takes priority.
Technically, Kyrio, I believe they can.
But yeah, Rida sort of doesn't really look at Tucker, just sort of staring up the ceiling. And what if you're wrong?
That's part of life, isn't it? We can't always be right. But right now, I know that what you're trying to do isn't right. So, at the very least, let's be wrong together.
I'd rather be wrong, but have tried.
Tucker would let out a sigh at this point, realizing that the conversation, unfortunately, does seem to be going in circles. You did. We've all been trying our best. But you're no good to Brooke if you collapse in the street. And I think you know he'd say that too.
Even at full strength, I doubt I'm good enough for Brooke.
L7 GHQ Lounge.
Okay. Tucker sighs again and thinks for a bit. All right, I don't know your past, but I can tell that some of the things you say, some of the things you feel these days, I can tell they involve it somehow. Not measuring up it's something you felt before, isn't it?
I can't fully remember what happened. All I know is this shame and pain of a failure I can't fully grasp. One that always sticks in my mind.
And you're scared to fail again.
I do not fear failure. But there is something that I fear, I suppose. In loss, in some capacity.
You don't want to lose. Again.
get stronger. Prevent whatever occurred from happening again.
I understand your concern, but you can't make a roadmap if you can't remember everything. Trying to prevent something you can't remember from occurring again, no, that's just not possible. All you can do, if you can't remember everything, that's okay, but, well, that means you need to look to the future and form new memories, new experiences. You can't just worry about the past all the time. Tucker sort of turns her head to look out the window as they say that. I know how that feels.
I wish to be able to protect that future. However, it seems there's something in the way. There always is. And so I must get stronger. I must prepare. And I must act. To act to protect that future and those who I want in it.
I think you're right, but you force it too quickly. You push yourself when you can't push anymore. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to be patient. Sometimes it takes time, progress, ups and downs to learn how to grow. We have to go through some dark places sometimes before we can. Sounds like you've had your fair share, even if you can't remember them all. And I have too.
I have endured, and I will continue to endure. Even if I must push myself to the brink or further beyond, I will sacrifice every part of me for that future that the others may enjoy.
Tucker kind of does a chuckle, almost. Not trying to be rude, but they think for a second and respond with, how is sacrificing yourself enduring?
I will tolerate any pain thrown at me for as long as I can hold.
And when you can't keep holding?
My duty has been completed well. I will have ended knowing that I've done all that I could.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
Is that I could not do more.
I don't agree.
You do not have to.
Putting yourself at your breaking point and calling that a good ending. Tucker actually shows disgust at that. Not an emotion he usually displays.
Bless you.
Bless you. Bless you. I can tell I can't convince you right now. But just know that pushing yourself to the end, that's not a good result. That's not a good ending. And whether you believe that or not, I know that's not true.
I suppose from your perspective, it would be an unhappy end for you. As someone who has much to look forward to in those around you. And to some extent, I share that. But I'd be willing to put myself on the line if it meant their betterment.
I'm not saying I don't know how that is. I've pushed myself too far before. I've used connection recklessly. I've helped the party, I've helped others doing it, but I've put myself at risk. I even did it to help you. And I don't regret that, but...
Then why should I? If you have done the same, then you understand.
Tucker has to think about that a little bit, pondering to himself if he is hypocritical. I guess the difference is the goal. You're already speaking about pushing yourself to the end. And while I admit I've been reckless and put myself at risk, I don't want to end things. I don't want to see an ending. Not now. Not yet.
Everything will come to an end eventually, Tucker. Fearing it is not useful.
Recklessly walking to it isn't either, though.
I suppose you are not incorrect.
I guess it comes down to what we believe. You are looking at all the possibilities of Brooke being harmed in the time we wait for him, but while I'm not saying it's impossible, nothing is, especially with those things. At the same time, I guess I believe in Brooke enough to know that I'll see him in a few hours when he gets back here from whatever he's doing. Maybe that makes me silly or something, but I put faith in things like that.
I suppose that's where we differ. You know Brooke different than I do. My interpretation of Brooke has been influenced by my past that I cannot control. Where you see a strong and capable companion, I see a leader, and it is my duty to protect them.
I see both those things myself. I want to defer to his judgment on things, because I see him as a leader too. And I don't think he's invincible. He was doing pretty rough after what we experienced in that place. I had to cheer him up too. We all have our weaknesses and our limits. I guess I understand pushing our limits, but I guess there's a difference between pushing to help others to do the right thing and pushing too far for ourselves. I guess where we differ is you can push yourself to the end, but I don't want to, because I want to keep continuing and helping others. I want to push another day, you know? He kind of grins.
Rya actually does the opposite and frowns.
Tucker studies that difference for a moment before putting on more of a neutral expression. Well, I guess there's no point in talking about it further for now. Sorry if you're upset at me right now. You can air your concerns to Brooke when he's back, if you think detaining you is wrong.
I have no ill will towards you, though I do have a disdain for having to be kept from my duty.
Tucker will look at your... Well, it's bandaged, right? The wound?
Yes.
Does it need to be changed, or is it fine?
It's fine for now.
Okay.
It was changed earlier.
Tucker will observe your wound for a little bit, and then sort of gesture with his nose towards it. I guess I'm thinking more about your health than you are. That's another thing.
Rida looks down at their chest wound and then back to Tucker. You do concern yourself more than I do.
Tucker will simply nod and sort of lay down next to the door, having kind of stood up and paced for a bit during this conversation, but settles back down. It seems he's having trouble finding further words on this conversation. He knows that there's no convincing you right now of what he's saying. And he seems contemplative of what you shared too. He's not ignoring it, and he is mulling over some of what you said.
Yeah, and as Tucker goes to settle, Rida goes back to not focusing really on anything and just sort of staring up, thinking to themselves on thoughts of what could possibly be going on with Brooke, where they might be, are they okay? And then slowly those thoughts get replaced with things Tucker said of Brooke is probably fine, they can take care of themselves, maybe you should worry about yourself more. And they start to ponder those thoughts instead.
Well, I believe we can leave Tucker and Rida to their contemplations for the moment.
Their awkward sharing a room contemplations.
Very much two philosophies clashing with each other.
Meanwhile, in the background, Puppy actively attempting to demolish, and failing to do so, a plushie.
Tucker will make sure they don't eat any cotton or anything.
I'm sure it's fine. It's the substitute plushie. Durable.
Oh, that's good. I have to admit, I didn't expect that to be a scene.
Yeah.
I also was not expecting that to be a scene.
But I'm not against it. It's kind of interesting to see how the clashing philosophies like really work out. So
Character interaction's always fun.
Yeah. But now we get an entirely other kind of interaction with
Right.
Ralph and Mowile.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say Brooke, because when we took the break last time, it was like, oh, it's Brooke's episode. It's like, okay, cool.
was the intent.
No Brooke yet. That's okay.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It will be. But
Dun dun dun.
order of operations.
Okay.
We do need to get to Ralph and
Pindas.
Mowile.
Brooke is the culmination for this episode. I get it.
Yes. Ralph, you and Mowile have gone home to perform
Yes.
science. Others may believe you are
Yes.
canoodling, but the both of you are putting on your Emperor's New Groove science goggles and lab coats.
They could be canoodling. I mean, he does like those noodle fruits.
They almost certainly have as many times as he's, but that's another story. But yeah, let's get this ball rolling.
So, Mowile is going to drag out the ball toy. And also wipe it free of any, marking she may have made on it when she was previously planning to maybe attempt to dismantle it.
Okay, so this should work. I mean, if I recall correctly, these things can possess stuff.
Well, I mean, he was able to possess the computers.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Shall we drag it outside in case it goes berserk?
Do we
you might freak
want-
out suddenly. Suddenly being in a new body, he might be like, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah.
Do we really want to expose the whole town to that and potentially have Rida kill your friend all over again?
Yeah. Or there's no way this isn't dangerous to at least some degree, but and these days most of what we do is dangerous. Yeah, you're a retired explorer / pioneer. Does your life ever get any less dangerous once you decide to be a pioneer, or is it just like a permanent thing?
I mean, it's kind of a permanent thing because I'm an archaeologist and I go out into dangerous ruins all the time.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. Never a dull moment, which is pretty cool, actually.
I mean, I could settle for less dangerous stuff. Especially now that, I have you.
Yes, indeed. After we get married, we could have a nice cottage by the ocean, or just stay here. I don't know.
She shrugs.
I don't think I ever ran that by her, did I?
She is completely, brushing by the fact that you just inadvertently proposed to her.
Very blasé.
But her response is clearly to the could have an oceanside house, and she's like, yeah, I could take it or leave it. I don't really care where I am.
After that awkward slip of the tongue, we'll take my zapper. All right, so we're ready to see if this works.
Oh, wait. And she props the ball toy up. And then also to answer you can change the color. It's fine. They were color-coded previously because we needed them to be.
Okay.
And she's going to rush over, and then she's going to wrap a wad of clothing around its head, just in case. Because we got the hyper beam working, and I don't think I know how to disable that.
Right.
Looking over the ball toy. So how are we gonna transfer Georgie?
I was just gonna shock it and see if that worked.
Go ahead and give me an insight contest logic, if you don't mind.
Alright.
Just in case you can find anything that might look like a power port.
Yeah. Connect zapper to USB port.
Connect external battery.
That'd be something. Pokemon still use USB ports. Hold on, let me.
Now,
we're closer.
Now I'm just waiting for there to be the electric mouse Pokemon, except its tail terminates in a USB.
Oh gosh.
USB-C cord.
Alright, you said insight, survival.
In insight contest logic.
Alright.
Also, I just realized this is kind of good to put in the video. That conversation between Rida and Tucker, there's points and flaws to both sides of the argument, so I encourage the comment section to discuss who they think has the better points. It's kind of an interesting conversation. Talking piece. Anyways, that has a lot of ones in it, unfortunately.
It does. That is still 4 successes.
That is true.
Unfortunately, even when you were fighting the ball toys way back, you don't remember there being anything on them that looked like it might open up, aside from maybe the eyes shooting lasers, as eyes tend to do. So, yeah, probably shock it. Baltoy are ground type, though.
Yeah, so I won't hurt its new body with the transfer.
All right. You want to roll me an attack with your zapper?
Yeah, let's see here.
It's a dex fight, brawl.
Dex fight. Brawl.
I'm trying to remember why we even have one of the Baltoys. I don't remember why we picked one up.
As you picked it up to show Pangoro, I believe.
Oh, right. Okay, that's pretty good.
Even better. Oh, what's a good song to swap to? Sure, we'll use this one. E119.
Oh,
Interesting.
oh, this song. Never used this before, I think. Oh wait,
Might
that's
need
not
to
the
turn
right-
it down.
Oh, I'm on L119. 1 second. I'm like, why is this one being played? Okay, I guess we'll see. Let's see.
Ah, hell shit.
E119 just to
Create an
confirm.
account.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, there it is. Oh, that's loud. Oh.
Yeah, you're gonna need to turn it down. I'm sorry.
I think I have good.
I was gonna sound very specific, but it kind of sounds like an unused track from like Hey You Pikachu.
I know Charm Charm tried to pick music that felt Pokemon, so that's a good compliment in that case.
Yeah.
Me, it reminds me of this one, like, Donkey Kong racing game I had as a kid on a DS. I don't remember the name of it.
Donkey Kong Racing game? Diddy Kong Racing?
I think it might have been Diddy Kong Racing.
That's a good game.
The
So,
first appearance of.
sorry,
Alright, what's up?
Ralph. You press the zapper up against the Baltoy and squeeze the triggering, and there's a burst of electricity that is very bright, enough that Mawile has to actually, like, put her arm over her face and lean back a bit because, ooh, that's bright, even through the eyelids. And there's a sound between zapping and a welding torch. Luckily, the Baltoy's surface is not made of metal. It is a form of ceramic. Otherwise, your zapper would be welded to it.
Yeah.
But the zapper does get increasingly warm in your hands. Can you please give me a tough roll to see if you keep hold of it? You probably will.
Alright. Am I tough enough?
You do.
Decently tough.
You manage to pull the zapper back, and it's still sparking until you unsqueeze the trigger. And there is a long moment of quiet in the house that now seems much darker than earlier thanks to the sudden bright flashing light. And then the lines of the Baltoy slowly begin to glow, a soft orange hue.
So it worked? Yeah, you there, Georgie?
What? Oh god, I'm trying to remember Georgie's voice. What? Who said that? My eyes!
Yeah, it's me, Ralph.
I'm blind! And they just do a little spin and flop over dramatically. Mawile blinks a few times, trying to get the spots out of her vision. Were they always this?
Yeah, they were always a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm gonna pick him up and hold the ball toy like a baby. Congrats! It's a ball toy, Rotom, affront to nature. Yay, science!
Hooray! I'm an affront to everything!
I would kiss it on the forehead, but we love you. I kind of am too. I mean, yeah, I'm like, a human turned Pokemon who apparently my consciousness has been intact for, around about 100 years or more.
Seriously,
have
why
no
the heck
idea.
am I blind?
Huh, that is a good question.
The blindfold, the clothes that have been put over their head.
Yes. I legitimately be confused for a sec looking over you. Looking over him that's a good question. Oh, right. And we'll unwrap that. There.
Sweet sensory vision! After!
Yes. And now you don't have to be stuck in that musty old, laboratory that you've been stuck in for upwards of 1,000 years.
There's the little Rotom giggle as they squirm and end up hopping out of your arms and do a little spin around as they spin their various parts about and get used to the new adjustments in this body.
Yeah. So, the broad strokes are that humans are, as far as I know, completely wiped out. We lost the battle against the Dead Star. We're gearing up for round 2, but that's, it's a long story. So Pokemon run things now, but they're advanced and stuff, and they have houses and societies. Those are broad strokes of the world you live in now.
We don't exactly have the same kind of technology you're used to, so the ball toy's as close as we can get. Well, it's better than dying. Again.
Yes.
Thanks for not giving up on me, Ralph.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, everyone has their days where they, blow up at someone. Which is particularly dangerous for Pokemon, because we could quite literally blow up at someone.
I think this body knows self-destruct!
We'll keep
Please don't
that
blow up in my house.
Yeah, we'll keep that as a theory. No need to press that. Anyway, it's our baby. Oh, it's adorable. We're like a real family now.
Mawile gives Ralph side-eye, and Georgie... It's hard to read their expression because it's a ball toy, the expression is set, but you can feel the gremlin energy exuding from them at the moment. They are trying very hard not to go along with the bit. Trying real hard not to go along with the bit, and they're failing very slowly. I can see the resemblance. She blinks slowly, looking over at Georgie. Exactly. We're both round. Hopping in place, spinning around.
Oh, this is so precious.
Oh, I can't wait to get out and experience the world again. Being stuck in that single circuit. You have no idea how boring it was. They sort of lean forward, their arms just like limp, flat noodles.
Oh, yes, I imagine. I don't know if we gave you taste and feel, but the ball toy's the best we had.
I don't think I need to eat anything in this body, which is pretty great.
Oh, that sounds so sad. I would be so sad if I never got to eat again.
Well, you can eat for both of us. And then they just whirl over to you
Oh,
and
that
just
sounds
nudge you with their
awesome.
elbow and is like, looks like you already are.
I think I know where to take this now. So I'm gonna turn to Mamo and like sort of sheepishly admit. So, in my rambling, as I do, my vision of our future may have slipped out prematurely. And I'll kind of crouch down. I don't know if it's Pokemon tradition to like offer a ring, because that was the human tradition to offer a ring when you asked. But I don't have anything.
I could list off about half a dozen different old traditions if you wanted to go through something ridiculously complicated, or we could just sign the paperwork.
Oh, at least let me ask. So, Mawile, and he'll take one of her little hands. Will you marry me?
So before you take her hand, she's smirking. She knows that you're doing a whole thing here, and since she's going to have to deal with 2 comedians potentially for the rest of her life, she has to get at least one in. Well, just both hands holding onto your one hand as she tilts her head to the side. You can see the big toothy grin on the back maw. It's like,
that's
I don't know. Forever's a real long time. Wouldn't you say, Georgie? Georgie spinning around because he can. I don't know. I might run out of power eventually. I know you're not going to live forever. Give me one sec. He stops, looks at Mawile. There's a brief blipping noise as the eye slits glow. I mean, you're approximately okay. If you want to keep in one piece, you're not going to say the number. Oh, wow, Ralph, I like her already.
I'm sure she's very young.
Exactly. Younger than any of the ruins I've gone to, anyway.
Yeah, see, that's the rule for ladies. See, they get a year older every year until they turn 21, and then they turn 21 again every single year until they're 30, and then they're really 30, and then after that they turn 30 again every year until they're 40.
I don't know who taught you that, but I appreciate it. She smiles. And to answer your question, yes. But it's going to have to wait.
Yeah, I figured that.
If we can't figure out what's going on with the Dark Star, us getting married might not matter.
I didn't mean to point there. I meant to hit enter. That's funny as hell. Yeah. I know it has to. I know, like, kept. The happily ever after part. It has to wait until we're actually at happily ever after. And we gotta beat the douchebag who's trying to take over the world, or at least we think they are. I'll kind of shrug.
Well, when the time comes, the answer is yes.
and he'll hold her, bend her back a little bit, and just give the most passionate, like Casablanca style kiss. Like, yeah, I love you. I promise we're gonna win, and we're gonna have an amazing wedding to kick off a happily ever after.
Georgie spins, somehow lets out like little sparks. Mazel tov! Mazel what now?
No, I mean,
Don't think too hard about it.
it's a human word for cheers. It means fill the cup up again.
Oh, neat. Also, we don't have any cups right now. Well, now that we've saved your friend, what now? 'Cause if Rya figures out that's Georgie in there, that will not end well.
I mean, Ryder's not in a position to bargain, quite frankly. But, I mean, if Ryder knows that they're not dangerous, they should be okay-ish.
I think I'd rather hide inside just a little longer. Not to stay a shut-in or anything, but if this body suddenly falls apart on me... he has a point.
Yeah, that's no fun.
We should probably try and perform some amount of maintenance on them. I mean, we did get the hyper beam working, but, well, we saw how that happened. Wait, I have a hyper beam function?
No, you don't. Eye moving side to side, betraying my life.
You can tell that Georgie's concentrating super hard. They're even going in place. They're starting to vibrate, and Mawile is staring at them.
No. You should only use Hyper Beam if you're scared for your life. Like if, like if someone tried to steal you or something, then totally Hyper Beam them into next week.
Fine. Ooh, what's this? And they just whirl around to go start looking at all the various things that Mawile now has in her home. Well, your home.
Yay,
yes, thank you. They're just spinning everywhere.
They have the funnest idle animation.
They really do. It's kind of great.
They're good silly again.
Mawile, quietly, while she watches this go on. Oh, I am not going to get to sleep tonight, am I? Other science thing, Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
Just give him a different name and Ryder will never have to know where the ball toy came from. It's true, you can rename Georgie, technically. Like, Mawile even has, like, markers or something. You could paint a new name on them.
We got bot to get this Pokemon nickname? Yes, no.
Ralph, do you want to start studying the Reaver?
That's a good question. My new sword here.
Oh yeah. Oh right, you
Railgun Reaver. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. And show her as well. Yeah, I Georgie's not the only thing I took out of there. I also kept this bad boy.
I saw. Tucker was dragging it along.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy, but yeah. I lost my last weapon, so I picked up this bad boy.
I don't know if your zapper's exactly out of commission.
Nah, the spear.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was a nice spear too.
But it felt so cool. It's like I was a protagonist in an epic adventure novel.
Are you not?
Yeah, I guess I kind of am, aren't I?
Another mobile smirk. Alright, well, we can start looking at this thing, see what it can do. I mean, no guarantees we'll be able to make it work, but you have Georgie with us.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, it's an enormous... Oops. If nothing else, it's an enormous, huge steel sword, so... I mean, that's already several points of usefulness right there.
I have no guarantee I remember anything about the project, but I'll try. Georgie, as he is still spinning, because he is really obsessed with the spinning right now. He can't even get dizzy in his body.
Yeah, that's how you know he's a real top.
Oh, God.
Side note, now that he's active, I mean, maybe he could give us some information. I don't know. Yeah, what he can remember.
Never know.
Hmm.
Is it safe to say that you are going to be pulling an all-nighter with Mawile and Georgie?
Yeah, without being told otherwise. Probably.
Okay, I will require from you 3 insight smart logic rolls then.
Yeah.
For your evening.
Because whilst this is the third session here, I think it's only been one in-game day still.
Yes, it is getting toward evening. Like, later evening.
Yeah. And you said insight survival logic?
Insight smart logic.
Insight smart logic. Gotcha.
Yep. Basically one of your best rolls. And I will need 3 of these.
Yes, indeed.
Because I'm sure eventually y'all will start passing out. Oh gosh, the first one's not great.
I just thinking about how, like, just rename Georgie and I don't know. I feel like I could see Ralph going up like, yeah, and here's Jordan. Yeah, that's what their name.
Oh gosh, that is such a that is a name for a child, all right. No offense to anyone who's actually named Jordan. Is part of the bit.
I must not be the most concentrating.
You need more and more ones as you go.
I feel like
yeah. I just like I start a little bit distracted by a start, and then I lock in, I get a little bit more into it, and then I trail off as the tiredness sits in.
Oh god, this is Georgie LaForge. I imagine that at some point y'all are gonna end up passing out and not actually end up managing the all-nighter as much as you wanted, which is fine. Georgie is finding out that he does need to sleep now, which sucks. He just goes into rest mode at one moment and is very disgruntled by this. And Mawile just puts a blanket over them, kind of like a sheet. And she will also put a blanket over Ralph whenever he ends up passing out, and then she will pass out with Ralph. So far, you aren't really able to get into the mechanisms of the Reaver. You figured out the trigger and that it will fire, but as far as you can tell, it doesn't fire solid projectiles, and it seems to have this heat venting system along the upper part of the weapon that is supposed to automatically open the flaps and expose the heat sink so it can release heat and cool after firing.
But as far as we can tell, it's not a projectile weapon.
Not a physical projectile, certainly. So you're not quite sure yet how the automata was firing at you with this thing. Though, given the hefty construction, what it was firing at you would hurt.
Indeed. But yeah. A nice cuddly sleep. I think I've slept in Marlisle's house more times than I've slept in my own room at the clubhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but your room is still there.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, your room is just a beanbag.
It was a bachelor apartment.
Yeah. I think I have the hand-drawn map taped to the wall, and I think that's about it, yeah. I most likely would have put up my wanted poster in my room as like a shits and giggles keepsake, so that's probably on the wall too.
So, we're going to swap to E1 number 5 as we go to the next morning.
Can I do a little quip?
Yeah.
So, I think it would be pretty fitting for during the middle of the night, while Tucker has fallen asleep and so has Puppy, that Rya would have gotten up, and they were most likely going to attempt to sneak out while Tucker was asleep. Though as they reach for their scythe and just sort of see Tucker lying there, they think about what he said and then relents and just leaves the scythe there and goes back to sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, character growth.
I was gonna say, do the rooms have, like, what kind of doors do they have anyways?
Solid.
Okay, well. Yeah, I guess you could still step over Tucker even if they sleep in the doorway, so. Well, it depends on which way the door opens, because if it opens into the room, then yeah, you couldn't really open it, but even so.
Also to note, there is 2 doors and thus 2 sets of walls between Rya and even potentially being able to see Brooke stumbling in with Deadeye as they go upstairs to drink.
Nice.
I like to imagine Rya decides to do the good thing. You know what? I'll stay in bed and not look for Brooke. Meanwhile, if they would have just went, Brooke would have just been right outside the door.
I'm gonna say this. Tucker probably knew that you tried that and probably would have slept in the way of the door, but probably would have rolled over. So you actually did have an opportunity. Rya did have an opportunity to go, and thus, yeah, made that choice. Dogs roll. Just happens sometimes. Dog roll.
So,
Oh.
finally, it's first thing in the morning, Brooke. You have a hangover.
Yeah. Brooke is gonna try and sit up.
Ow. I forget, does your office have a window?
It does. It has a little sun window.
Did it have curtains of any kind?
No, I don't believe so.
There's a picture. Let me go find it.
Yeah, there is a picture of it. I just couldn't remember. So that window is currently covered.
Okay.
by Deadeye's hat.
I'll just that and this. Yeah,
Thank you.
Cool.
it is. In fact, the window's the main prominent detail here because it would normally do this.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I made it disappear. Look at that magic.
Okay.
I don't know how I did that. I'd like to try again. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, that's my sun rock.
Ah, yes, the sunning window. I had forgotten. That is adorable.
It's a cute picture. I got up. If I have an opportunity to share it, I will.
Brooke will kind of clutch his head, groan. Oh, I feel awful.
Deadeye is leaning on the desk. He currently has a glass of water with ice cubes, apparently. Good. You're awake.
Oh, right. Brooke will rumble and force himself to stand up. Sorry, I'm not sure. And he just kind of mumbles.
Awkwardness is broken as Deadeye presents Brooke with a glass of their own.
Brooke blinks and takes it. Oh, thanks. And he'll take a sip and then, realize how thirsty he is and just gulp it all the way down.
The headache mostly comes from being dehydrated. And bright light.
Right. I knew that. Brooke blushes a little bit.
Deadeye giving you just this general standard expression. It's hard to tell if he's being deadpan or if this is normal.
Brooke takes a moment and then just sighs, okay, full disclosure, I've never drunk alcohol before.
It's no problem. I can tell.
I don't think
Thanks
I ever
for
will
drinking
again.
with me.
Brooke nods and says, no problem. I'm not sure if I'll ever do that again, though.
That's fine. It's an acquired taste. Besides, he just sort of gestures at his eye socket with a half smirk. It helped dull the pain when it was worse. No, it's just habit.
Brooke kind of nods. That makes sense. It was fun while it lasted.
Yeah. Nice to have a conversation. Not inhibited. Not worrying about what we think.
Brooke will kind of go quiet for a moment. Then he'll look towards the window with the hat covering it. He says, I need to go somewhere. And I think I'd like you to come with me.
Consider it done.
Brooke just kind of tilts his head. Really? Just like that?
Should it be otherwise?
Well, if you say so. Brooke stretches and will Let's see. Yeah, I think he'll quickly splash himself in the face with the water from this pool. And maybe take a gulp of it, too. Before coughing, standing up, and said, "All right. Let's go to the Cave of Mirrors." And I believe he will just leave.
Deadeye's brows will raise slightly at that, but they'll wait until you're out of the room and then take the hat, wincing very visibly, even though you're not there, at the bright light coming through. No good deed unpunished. They put the hat on and follow Brooke out.
And just to add on to Ryder's anxiety, he will probably leave before they wake up.
Oh no.
Pain. Pain.
Oh, this is hilarious.
I can't believe
So-
this picture's from 2020 October, by the way.
I know.
Right? 5 years ago.
I
Still-
know.
Also, a clear reminder to the chat that Deadeye has been a character that's been around for a while.
And it has aged like such fine wine.
It's still a lovely picture, yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because the two drinkers basically went to bed the earliest out of everybody, and not even necessarily intentionally.
This is
Deadeye
a good
did-
song for him. Did we use this before for Deadeye?
I don't think so. I don't think we've used this one before.
I feel like it. Yeah, I feel like it has been used before, but it definitely works for him.
Also, apologies for interrupting a moment ago, but I was going to say Deadeye did leave the empty bottle on Brooke's desk. Gotta leave a souvenir of your first time.
Oh, that's sweet.
Well, it is going to take you at least a day to get out to the cave. Just as a reminder to everybody. In fact, it's probably going to take like a day and a half, maybe two if things go poorly. So, well, actually, no, it won't go poorly. Deadeye's there. So,
Brooke will probably leave some word with anyone who might be around.
Oh,
Squirrel,
thank
probably.
goodness. I was just thinking, Tucker's
You're like,
to write a,
"Thank
Tucker to
God."
write, no, look, Brooke will be back, it's fine. Meanwhile, Brooke, skipping the team for another 24 hours.
Brooke will leave word with the
Jesus.
mute turtle.
just like leaving a written note at the reception desk because you know that's where Turtle is. Squirrel is.
That'd be smart.
Yeah, that's totally
Yes.
fine.
Quickly jot down, "Gone out, don't worry." That's about it.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much.
Dear Pooh, worry about me. Remember that the entire plot of the one Winnie the Pooh movie was that like honey was smudged on the note.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, wasn't that the one where he was Christopher Robin was going to school and then Owl misread it as skull because Christopher
Yeah.
Robin couldn't spell.
And I think Owl had his thumb over "don't."
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup. Yup.
Yeah, and there's like honey splotched over to strategic words.
I remember that by secondhand knowledge because actually, little kid grew up with the Winnie the Pooh tapes, so yeah, I remember that.
I remember having that movie. So, would you mind, Brooke, giving me a tough survival nature?
of survival nature.
Yes.
That is 8. No, 9.
Let's.
Okay. That's not too bad. Brooke and Deadeye, you are both rather powerful individuals for this area. So, anything that might appear that is foolish enough to threaten you is not a threat for particularly long.
Lots of ghost shadow scavengers now, so...
It's almost like you have food delivering itself to you.
Oh!
What's that? An angry sparrow? Fried chicken.
Yummy. Brooke even knows how to cook now.
Oh, you
Oh.
gonna cook for Deadeye?
Well, sushi is all he learned how to cook, actually.
Ah,
I don't think you should make sushi out of
I was
those
thinking
normally.
So probably not.
I was thinking if you learned scold, you just like after you eat the sparrow, you like scold on the nest and have boiled eggs too.
I don't think I get that one. I'd have to like find someone to teach me that. But I have thought about it.
let's see what he rolls. Somehow worse. Curse you dice.
He's
But
still
it's
got a
fine.
hangover. For
Yeah.
like half a day.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't help. His ability is dry skin, so he kind of suffers in the sun.
hmm
Yes, for anyone who didn't know or catch on, the reason his hat is so big is because his ability is dry skin. But alright.
Brooke often douses himself to keep his jacket up, so he can include Deadeye in that.
Do you do so unprompted?
I think he'll do it to himself and then just kind of inquisitively look at Deadeye. Like, you want one too?
Oh, they would give Brooke the driest of looks. They have been living with this condition ever since they evolved.
Yes, Brooke will then do it unprompted.
Oh. So, Deadeye is briefly soaked. Their eyes narrow at Brooke. Like, I will remember this.
Brooke just grins at him. Looked like you were thirsty.
I'm sure we can find an oasis somewhere nearby. But I appreciate your charity.
Brooke just gives a exaggerated bow. My pleasure. And will continue leading the way.
So, I have a question for everybody else. What are you guys doing on the first day that they're gone?
I'm gonna hold anything until I see what Ryder does.
That is very valid. Well, Ryder would probably be the last one to wake on the first day as them
Injured,
actually getting
exhausted.
some rest. Yeah. And which would give Tucker time to get up and do whatever he needs to do in the morning. I presume probably getting the news about Brooke. Question mark?
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, Tucker would get up and probably actually poke into Brooke's room and look to see if he's there.
Well, one small interjection. It is not so much that Tucker will get up, it is that Puppy will be tugging on your ear excitedly in the morning.
Oh.
Perhaps earlier than you wanted to get up.
Then the day will start with a dramatic yawn and see what Puppy's so urgy about.
They want to play.
Ah, of course. Well, Tucker can't say no to that, not from Puppy. So.
And they are doing like the little quiet thing because, of course, Rida is also sleeping in the playroom at the moment. So, you know, they want you to get up so they can play, but also they're not supposed to wake everybody.
Yeah, I always love it when an animal like weirdly knows human precautions. Like we had this cat actually that was like super violent, right? Well, not super violent. She just liked her space. And I remember clearly when my sister. Sorry, Nathan, but when my sister was still like a little baby, she accidentally stepped on the cat's tail, and we watched the cat roll around, like claws extended, roll around and freeze mid-spin, seeing that it's the baby, and then like calm down. like Rah! Oh, it's the baby. Okay.
Animals
I
usually
can't
have
maul
an
the
idea of,
baby.
Like, this is a young thing. I gotta treat it a bit differently. Also,
Yeah.
This is when like the humans sleep, so I'm gonna keep that in mind. This is awesome because sleep is an understandable concept for most creatures. But anyways,
Sorry,
so
man.
it's okay. It's fine.
It was this cute. I had to share it.
Tucker will probably take Puppy out of the room because, well, Tucker will acknowledge that Ray is still sleeping, basically, and take Puppy out of the room to play. And we'll probably play as they also play with Puppy for like, good 10 minutes or something. And probably in that time, we'll notice that really nobody else is showing up out of their rooms or anything. Because if I'm correct, it's just Rida and Tucker and Puppy and maybe like Hot Dog getting up to go to work or something.
Yeah, there's Hot Dog. They have an overly large t-shirt on, and they are yawning as they go to the kitchen so they can cook breakfast.
Tucker will give them a friendly acknowledgement and a request for more bacon for Puppy.
I hate Mondays.
That is exactly what is on the shirt.
That is exactly what
Yeah.
I'm wearing,
And it has a shiny Perugly on it.
That's the second t-shirt I've willed into existence by a funny joke.
Also, Tucker will play a Puppy the same way. You ever see a big dog and a small dog playing where they both want to kind of be equals in the whole play fighting and winning thing? So the big dog will just dramatically roll over for the little dog. Yeah, it's stuff like
Yes.
that.
Which is adorable.
But after a little bit of that, Tucker will stop the play with Puppy and start to check rooms because it's kind of obvious. Like, hey, nobody's leaving their rooms or anything. So.
Well, Squirtle isn't here yet because it's still early. But when you go to check rooms, like down in the basement, obviously there's like Poff and Laddie. And who else did you recruit?
Laurantis.
Oh, right, the Laurantis. There is the Laurantis that is currently snoozing quite soundly in a small garden of budding moon petal flowers.
Oh, good. He got those working. Tucker is quiet in his checks so he doesn't wake anybody, or at least tries not to. But when going to Brooke's room and seeing it's empty, is the bottle of alcohol noticeable?
It's probably left on the desk.
Probably has a bit of a scent, because alcohol has a bit of scent, right? So.
Pardon me, I need to remove these items from over here to declutter.
That is quite fair. There is a bit of clutter.
Yes, the bottle is there, standing upright. It does smell of alcohol, still relatively strongly, I would say, since it was only just emptied the night prior.
Plus sensitive nose, so Tucker would probably make note of that. Like, that's not something that is in Brooke's room. Maybe something that Tucker would be like, if it was in Ralph's room, like, okay. But that's not something that he would expect from Brooke, so you'd find that kind of curious. So, and that reminds him, like, oh yeah, so Brooke isn't here, and that's kind of weird. So, yeah, Tucker would probably go downstairs to try to ask Hot Dog if they've seen Brooke.
Hot Dog has no idea where Brooke is at the moment. Didn't see Brooke when he came in. Hasn't seen Brooke since they brought in a Rhyhorn to the Pioneering Club yesterday with Deadeye.
Oh, that's right.
Also news, Deadeye's here.
Yeah, that's actually a bit of that. Okay, that's actually some useful information. Tucker will note that and thank Hot Dog for the information and kind of be a little bit surprised hearing about Deadeye. And kind of think about that, like, and the Rhyhorn too. Curious, very curious. That's how Tucker will think about it. He will leave Hot Dog to his cooking. I mean, he is a I hate Monday sort of person, so not bothering him too much while he's trying to get up and do that. But I think it's pretty fair to say, if the note was left on the front desk, that would Tucker see it while having a little wander around the HQ?
Well, there's a number of papers at the reception desk.
Uh-oh. Then that's probably a case that Tucker probably wouldn't be able to tell one paper from another then, in that case, unless that one stands out in some way.
It's where the rest of the team's missions are being, laid out. And where the auxiliary teams get their little jobs from, so...
Oh no, the paper is camouflage, basically. Okay, Tucker would not see it then, not unless there's something about it that would stand out.
Squirtle's doing a good job.
So the only person who's going to notice the paper is Squirtle, because Squirtle's in charge of that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, it's just one stray paper among the organized papers.
Very organized.
Squirtle's doing a great job.
They are such a good boy.
Well, Tucker would feel a bit of concern not seeing Brooke around, but also not knowing that Ralph is around either. But I think it's fair to say at this point that, as said earlier, Ralph's has spent more time in Mawilds than at his own bed. So Tucker can make the assumption that Ralph is probably over there. But Brooke, on the other hand, that's a good question. So Tucker will probably just loiter around the HQ, have some breakfast, and just kind of be mindful about Rita and see when they get up, basically. Saving them some breakfast, too.
Squirtle is going to come in, and they're yawning, but they're going to take up their post at the reception desk before Rita gets up. Not long before, but since Rita is the latest to awaken.
If anything, that makes Tucker happy that they're sleeping in.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rita, you get up.
So, Ryder would wake up, sort of checking himself out to make sure they're not too much worse for wear, even after yesterday's events. Seeing how in pain they are today.
On a scale of 1 to 10, your pain is a 4.
Okay. So, a little sore, but eh.
Have we progressed past limping at least?
Yeah.
Also, for those who may have any missing stats at this point, please recover them.
Did I?
Yippee.
Right.
Oh yeah, I did.
Ryda.
No, I was low health.
Oh, okay.
Fix that. There we go. Yeah, I was still beat up too a little bit. Not as much though.
Yeah. After that, Ryda will rev up their things and head out the room. Probably walking closer towards the wall just in case they have to like lean up against it, but feeling okay enough to walk on their own without using their scythe. And their first destination, seeing as Tucker is in the room, kind of expecting, oh yeah, Tucker probably got up and Puppy's gone too, so yeah, that makes sense. They're going straight to Brooke's room.
That's fair.
Oh, well, Squirtle will wave at Ryda as they immediately pass reception and go up the stairs.
Ryda does give a little wave to Squirtle as they walk by.
And you head up to Brooke's room, and much like Tucker, you don't see Brooke. But you do notice there is a bottle on the desk.
Ryda looks concerned. Because from what they've seen of Brooke, Brooke isn't the type to drink. Ralph, yes, but Brooke, no.
Mhm.
Something must be wrong, clearly. Someone was here. It wasn't Brooke, but someone was in their room.
Some alcoholic
And-
broke in.
Hey, give me, just for funsies, give me an insight survival alert check.
Okay. Well, up their deduction is just, wait a minute, Brooke doesn't drink. Clearly someone broke in here.
You spy a singular, pale, dry piece of shed, scaled skin lying on the floor.
What a way
no.
of explaining that.
Menacingly.
Ryda will immediately jump to said clue, picking it up and inspecting it.
This pattern is not Brooke's.
And with that, they'll quickly pocket the scale and head out.
It's dry skin. It is
No.
a shed piece of hide.
Still, they're gonna pocket it and immediately try and make their way quickly back downstairs.
It crunches and crumbles in Ryda's pocket.
Has Retta met Deadeye at any point?
They have.
Yes.
During the raid.
Oh, right.
They also specifically sent a message to Deadeye before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I just imagine Ryda doing the freaking Enderman face when you look at an Enderman and they like shake violently in place with their mouth hanging open before they chase you.
So, Tucker, where did you go after your investigations, may I ask?
Probably just kind of around the commons area. Like, I know there's a kind of conference area around the, there's a conference table in the upstairs, right? It's in the main area, in the main room, so probably just hanging out. Honestly,
in the bottom room.
Tucker is waiting for Ryda to wake up, so it won't be hard for Ryda to find Tucker or vice versa.
Okay, so you're upstairs with Puppy, with
Yeah.
breakfast,
Got some breakfast for Ryda, too.
which means you will get to see Ryda go into Brooke's room and then come out of Brooke's room.
Tucker will acknowledge that and call over to Ryda and say, yeah, he didn't seem to be in this morning. I noticed the bottle. That was weird.
I believe something might have happened to Brooke. And Ryder pulls out the like dead skin. There was someone in their room.
Huh? Somebody besides Brooke? Are you offering that to Tucker?
Yeah, like they're showing it to Tucker to inspect.
Okay, sniffy time. What's the rule for that? I think it's instinct, survival...
Insight survival alert.
Insight survival alert. I mean, Tucker's been around Deadeye enough to probably maybe be able to pick this. Okay, that's a good roll.
Apparently, yeah. You
It
can smell the
smells-
ozone.
It smells of desert and ozone. There is only one creature that you know of that smells of ozone so strongly.
Yeah, that smell in particular was something that had Deadeye had around them. So, Tucker will pretty much immediately recognize it and express, wait, I'm pretty sure that's from Deadeye.
Deadeye. Why would Deadeye be here?
Right. Tucker remembers and recounts that Hot Dog mentioned that Deadeye was in town. I'm not sure why he's here, but apparently he is. I guess he was in Brooke's room.
I suppose that explains the bottle, then.
I didn't know he drank, but I guess so. That's definitely weird, but Deadeye's pretty trusted. I don't think he'd be in there for a bad reason.
I do not doubt his intentions. He seems noble at the very least. Perhaps he is with Brooke.
That would make the most sense if he's in his room. But where would they have gone? Okay.
It is unlikely for Brooke to leave without notifying someone. Perhaps Ralph knows.
I was thinking the same thing. Ralph isn't here either, but I think I know where he'll be. I would say should we go, but Tucker gestures towards the food on the table. First, you should probably have some breakfast.
Yeah, Puppy is already eating theirs, and they're staring at Tucker's plate longingly.
Oh, Tucker's already eaten theirs too. But they will give Puppy the plate if they want to lick this any bits on it.
Also, yeah, the both of you may recall that Brooke was not taking the loss at the lab very well at all.
Yeah. Something that I didn't maybe make completely clear is that Tucker was not completely unconcerned about how Brooke was doing. Like, he does sympathize or fight on the I'm worried about Brooke thing. Just different amounts of worry, and that's the difference between the two of them yesterday.
You're not worried that something is going to happen to Brooke in town. Basically, you're not worried that they're going to suddenly vanish and never come back, except this is totally the sort of thing that happens when somebody vanishes and never comes back.
Yeah, now that they're not in the morning, now it's weird. Not alarming fully, but weird. So at this point, Tucker's on board on actually doing the proper search, but like with some structure. So going to Ralph makes the most sense. But Tucker will note, and will express, you seem to be doing a bit better. You're not having to lean on your scythe anymore.
Yes, I am feeling better, though still not 100% healed. We should hurry to Ralph. And then they look at the food, and then towards you. Letting out a sigh. I suppose I should eat beforehand.
Tucker is giving you a stare until you say that, and then we'll relent the stare.
Yeah. Very much expecting but we should eat first, right?
It's good to keep our strength up. Especially if we have to go walking around a whole bunch more.
So, when you two go downstairs, so you can like go off and get right at breakfast, because Hot Dog has already gone off to work, Squirtle is going to flag the both of you down and start signing to you.
Oh, hi Squirtle. What's up?
So,
Does anyone else know sign language?
Not
I feel like Ryder
Sure
would be the
that-
type to learn like a few simple things in like the alphabet just for utility.
that might be fair. I don't know how Tucker might be able to pick up on one or two. He's been around Squirrel a little bit, but
so yeah, Squirrel's going to sign at the both of you. Rada, you catch maybe a couple letters because they're very fast at it. They've gotten very good at it. And then they just hold up a sheet for the both of you. It's Brooke's note, and they hold it out so you can read.
Ryder just gently takes it from him and holds it so both me and Tucker can read it. And then sort of just... Gone out, don't worry. Just sort of stares at it for a moment and processes. This does seem as though something Brooke would write.
As you're processing, Puppy, thinking this is something being offered, hops up, snatches the paper in their jaws, and starts trying to consume the paper.
no, puppy. That's not food. That's paper.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Ryder would definitely be trying to wrestle it out of Puppy's maw, like, give it here. Don't you dare.
Drop it. Tucker puts one of their big old forepaws right on top of Puppy's head. Not hard or anything, but kind of heavily a little bit to kind of be like, hey, no.
Yeah.
And
One of the most
Jago
weirdly common phrases uttered by dog owners. What are you eating and don't eat that?
No, don't stop.
well, now the note is crumpled, slobbered, and has tooth holes in it.
Well, good thing we read it before that.
Squirtle signs at Puppy. They are chiding Puppy. Puppy does not understand.
Oh my god, it almost was the whole Christopher Robin note. Like, you read it after it's chewed up, and the meaning completely changes.
Do worry. The funky
God,
ball.
do worry!
God, do worry,
would
bro.
lose it.
I think you read it already.
Yes. That's why I rolled the Doom die when I did. It's like, okay, how quickly is Puppy going to try and take this note?
Barely avoided shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tucker will pipe up after that little shenanigan and say, well, not very descriptive, but like you said, Ryder, that does seem like something Brooke would write. Alright. I think the best thing we can do is head over to find Ralph, who's probably at Mawwell's, fill him in on things, see if he knows anything, and we'll work out a plan from there, okay?
You see as they stare at the note for a bit longer before giving, like, a nod. Yes, let's do that.
Alright. You two, I suppose, are heading over to Mawwile's. Ralph, Mawwile will, of course, have made you breakfast,
Yeah.
because why wouldn't you?
Oh, wait, I have a
Yes,
quick
because we're a
question.
loving family.
I feel like we've just scorned Lyre for the last mornings. What is Lyre just gonna hang out? Is that what they're gonna do?
Yeah, Lyre's fine. They're in the garden.
Okay, they're just chilling. Okay, just making sure.
I didn't make mention of it earlier, but yeah, they've just been chilling in the garden. Somebody gave them a straw sun hat.
Oh.
I mean, they were in prison for who knows how long. I'm sure just being outside is nice for them.
They still feel like their impending doom is coming, so they're just enjoying the time they have.
Aw.
Yeah. After the adventure, we'll have to go give Eternalus the old what for, the old 1-2.
Good luck.
We're making a new deal with him.
Good luck with that. Ryder will not be participating in that combat.
That is a conflict of interest, yes.
I mean, I did damage him. I don't know what sort of health pool we're talking. I might have, like, done one out of a health pool of, like, 500 or something, but...
What's it say in Baldur's Gate 3? Enemy has high defenses.
I was the only one insane enough to roll attack rolls against the thing. Anyway, yeah. I'm enjoying a... yeah, I'm enjoying a lovely breakfast that was lovingly prepared by my wife-to-be.
Yep. Just having a nice breakfast together. Georgie is entertaining themselves, is the best way to put it. They have started stacking things.
That's good, building their hand-eye coordination. It's good for a growing boy. Growing boy who is several hundreds of times older than I am, technically.
Georgie might still be slightly insane. It's hard to tell. But they're happy. So, you know, all's well that ends well.
Yes.
How late would Ralph have woken up, would you say?
I can't imagine he'd have woken up too awful late. Because he didn't exactly stay up super late or party hard or anything like that.
Alright. And then I would say you would have finished breakfast by the time your companions come knocking. Georgie, of course, stops what they're doing and then immediately knocks over their stack and falls onto the floor to pretend that he is a piece of junk.
Oh, neat. Yeah, so I'll answer the door. Ah, you guys, what's up? We got a new mission. A new adventure to go on.
Tucker will. Actually, yeah. Who would probably speak first? I think.
We can roll for it.
Okay. Roll a single die. Let's see. Looks like right is the most urgent one here, probably. So.
But yes, after we approach Ralph and expressing pleasantries, Ryda expresses back. We came to ask if you have any more information on Brooke's disappearance. They seem to have left without much other than this note, which they showed to Ralph.
Don't worry, Slobber. Gone. Puncture hole, slobber, crinkle. Yeah, it sounds like them. and like I'll like cheekily read out all the slobbers and tooth holes.
Yeah, sorry. Puppy decided to edit the note a bit.
I am surprised it held up this well. Anyways, I don't think he told me about anything he was planning.
Ralph, did you know that Deadeye was in town?
Nope, I don't think I did.
Well, we found a bottle of alcohol and a bit of
what
skin.
kind?
I'm not certain. You can check the bottle for yourself.
Could have to ask
Cool,
Ryan,
any
'cause
left?
even I don't know.
But Ryda found a bit of shed skin, clearly from a Helioisk, and well, the smell's unmistakable. It's definitely from Deadeye. So they were in Brooke's room for some reason.
Oh, so they went somewhere.
Probably with Deadeye.
Yeah, like the two of them went somewhere. I don't think he would go all the way to Sea Spray without us. So, somewhere closer than that. And I don't think he would have left a note if it was just somewhere in town. So, yeah, so further than in town, but not as far as Eastbury. I think we can confidently say that much.
Question is where? Also, Tucker kind of nudges Rida. There's something else of concern that we need to address with Brooke, too. And you should know, too.
Yeah.
Could I roll to see if Rida would put together the Cave of Mirrors? Since that is a place they have scryed on before.
It would not be an easy dot to connect, but yes. Let's see, what would that be? Insight Smart Logic, I guess.
I doubt this will work, but...
Thanks, Kyrio.
It's possible that with Deadeye around, Brooke just may have gone out to train, but there is one way for Pokemon to get stronger in a more immediate fashion. You've been there. You might not have completed the trial, but you know what it can do.
Rida sort of just zones out thinking about this. At the idea that perhaps Brooke went off with Deadeye, and they may have made their way to the Cave of Mirrors. Not expressing this out loud to the others, though.
Well, with Tucker seeing that Rida seems to be thinking about something, Tucker takes the initiative to explain to Ralph basically what Rida told him the other day about the visitor suddenly teleporting in, seeing Rida, and where they're, and that it seems that, importantly, that the enemies we are facing appear to be from the dark star in the sky.
Okay, so I guess that confirms that. It's a little bit alarming that they were able to just sort of teleport on top of us in our base. We might want to long-term look into doing something about that. You know, the bad guys being able to teleport to our house isn't exactly, conducive to our overall well-being.
Tucker agrees and nods and says, it might just have been able to be possible because Rida was connecting with them accidentally. But I guess what it means now is they know where we live and we know where they live, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be a possibility. I did notice she was watching our meeting with Mr. Pango Dango.
Yeah. So that didn't get past you, huh?
Nah, it was pretty cool being part psychic.
Ryda's sort of zoning into the conversation, realizing, oh wait, Ralph noticed that?
Yeah, you gotta remember, I'm at least 30% more aware than I pretend to be.
Right. Seems I should be more careful when scrying then, if others are able to detect such. However, it does offer a useful possibility.
But yeah, that's why we need to find Brooke. This is definitely news we need to tell him. I'm sure he's probably fine with whatever he's doing, but it might be good to go find him.
Yeah. Out of character, isn't this what Ralph did when he went to the Cave of Mirrors, except his note said exactly, yo, I'm going to evolve BRB.
Yeah,
Pretty
basically.
much.
Tucker will also say, I'm gonna guess that he's training with Deadeye somehow. Brooke was pretty down after what happened the last battles we've went through. I don't think I've ever seen him that down. If anything, Deadeye's probably better for his spirits, but I wonder, where do they go?
I suppose I can attempt to locate them using Scrying. It doesn't matter much if they do perceive us looking.
That could work. You guys have any water here?
Hang on. Mawile grabs a bowl, fills it to almost the brim with water, puts it on some clear space. Hey Rida, go ahead and give me an insight survival alert.
Okay, rolling a lot today.
Random question. Who knew that Georgie was in the taser?
Yes.
Basically Ralph and Mawile.
Okay, just them. I thought so. I was just checking.
So, you notice that Mawile keeps looking over at what seems to be just another pile of her findings as she's giving you the bowl.
Ryder does not acknowledge this. Probably just thinking that they're just thinking about the research or something, and also they're partially distracted with, I need to find Brooke.
That's fair.
You can meet them properly at the wedding. That's not in character, that's an out of character.
I was about to say.
Record screech. What?
Oh no.
Oh,
are you
yeah,
talking
Ralph
about?
has not mentioned that yet.
No.
What you want? Yeah, you want? Yeah, this is precedent. Plus, he probably wants the bleeder present for such a announcement.
Well then. Would you mind rolling your scry?
Yep. I got so many things.
You got a lot of
Insight
things.
survival alert. Same roll.
Tucker's probably a little bit distracted trying to keep Puppy from probably messing with all the stuff that Mawile has,
Let's go.
which could arguably also be something particular.
Ryder is on a roll today.
Also, a
Oh.
7 is good. You beat whatever that was.
Alright. You're scrying Brooke, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So, you are able to see Brooke. They're already out on the plains. And Deadeye is following along with them. For some reason, Deadeye is dripping wet at the moment. And then the Heliolisk pauses.
Ooh, woo.
Yep, I figured.
Brooke will stop and say, "Something the matter?"
Nothing. Just getting a bit of water out of my socket, that's all. And he tilts his head to the side, just sort of tapping at his skull.
Brooke chuckles. Sorry about that.
You're fine. Let's keep moving.
He nods.
Brooke gets
Everyone
moved.
can perceive me.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ralph is part psychic, and Deadeye is Deadeye.
Yeah, it's fine.
He has, a
What are you
sys-
gonna do? Someone's watching.
he has a sensitive ozone. It can be disturbed and he can notice.
What is ESP if not altering the electromagnetic spectrum?
Something psychic power wibbly wobblies. For the most part, divination sensors are vaguely in giant air quotes invisible, but they are perceptible.
It's less of you see something watching you, more of you can definitely feel a presence watching you.
Yes, that's exactly why Deadeye is going to resume walking after Brooke, and Brooke moves ahead, and they're going to fold their arms in such a way one makes a finger gun in your direction and fires. The bowl shatters.
Oh, jeez.
Right, realizing that scrying on everyone is not as covert as she thought it was.
I didn't care if this was covert. I just wanted to find
shit.
Brooke.
Just
Deadeye
as a
didn't
trend
know.
at this point.
Deadeye didn't know who the heck it was. He's like, no thanks.
Tucker immediately raises a paw to shield Puppy, because everybody was probably watching. Like, pottery.
Aw. My stuff. Because Mawile stuff is now wet.
I suppose we'll have to get you a new bowl too.
That's
Yeah,
Deadeye.
but my stuff.
Yeah.
I guess Scrying isn't as covert as you might want it to be, right?
Yeah, well.
Oh, we know where Brooke is. Seems they are in good hands. If you'll excuse me, I must take my leave now. And they're going to walk away.
Huh.
Hmm.
Like out of the building, I guess.
Well, if our leaders held up, I don't want to be a. Yeah, and I'll conveniently say this like as Right is leaving. I don't want to be a deadbeat dad. I guess I should go work for the day.
Mawile
Right,
is going to
acknowledge
punch Ralph in the arm.
Work because I'm not lazy and I gotta keep the old blood pumping.
Tucker
I'm
caught
sure-
that too and tilts his head.
I'm sure the post office misses you, Ralph.
You know me so well.
Don't worry, I'll keep tinkering with that big old sword of yours while you're away.
Woo. Alright.
Oh my gosh.
I knew it was going to happen as soon as I said it, but I said it anyway.
Tucker will shrug the dad comment off and also turn to go. I guess Brooke's fine for now. Guess I'll see what I can do around town too for the meantime. Oh, actually, something I should mention to you, Ralph. Tucker looks down at Puppy for a second, then back to Ralph. Puppy's getting a little too rambunctious and using a few too many moves to stay at the spa any longer. I gotta find somewhere better for Puppy to be, somewhere he can train, too, maybe. I'm not sure where, though, right now. I figured I'd ask Brooke, but... Well, that's gonna take a bit.
Well, it's a little too cluttered here for us to have a dog. No, I'm not sure.
Tucker nods. Not really expecting Ralph to perhaps know, but at least wanting to communicate it. Amongst all the other hubbub, it was kind of lost in the sauce. Alright, well, for the meantime, I'm just gonna keep Puppy with us for now. Hopefully not bringing Puppy anywhere dangerous, of course, but... Well, until I got a better idea, it's probably the safest option.
Indeed. We are pretty safe. And not to, toot our own horn, but we're getting pretty strong.
Tucker's perk ear flops for a second. Not strong enough sometimes, though. But he perks back up after that, not wanting the whole group to have to focus on what they just went through again. Anyways, I guess I'll see you around later today.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna go do an honest day's work at the post office for my good friend Toucan.
Don't make her too mad. Tucker says as he leaves.
A grin. I'll try.
And Tucker will leave with Puppy. Where did Rya go?
Rya went off to the clubhouse.
Oh boy. What is Rya doing at the clubhouse?
So, after the situation that just happened, they're going to quickly grab... Well, I wouldn't say quickly, more like they slowly make their way to the clubhouse, and on their way there, they grab either a bucket or a bowl, just something to hold water, and they'll take it back into Riley and Lizard's room, and sort of just lock themselves in there.
Ah, you're going back to HQ. I thought you meant the Pioneering Clubhouse. Okay.
Oh, yeah, that. Sorry.
It's okay, I mixed that word up too.
It's okay. Just needing to be sure. Oh boy.
It's
Wait,
notable that...
gonna...
It's notable that Tucker didn't try to go like, oh, right, are you going to run off getting... Right. Tucker actually trusted the Rya was listening this time, without not just running off, so... Can't trust. That's all.
Is Rya going to try scrying on them again?
Rya's gonna try scrying again, but not on them.
Oh no.
This is at least less reckless than what Tucker was worried about, so...
They're gonna try scrying on themselves.
Oh.
What does this look like?
That's a lovely question. Why are you scrying upon yourself?
Basically, the idea is Rya wishes to perceive themselves perceiving themselves. So, like, they want to know what it's like for the person being scryed on. Like, what are they feeling?
What's giving her away?
Oh,
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
trying to figure out how to detect being scryed on, I guess.
okay. Go. Wow, you're rolling a lot this session. Go ahead and
I know,
roll
right?
for scry.
Hello, Vivi.
Is Ralph actually going to go and work at the post office for the day?
Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, some revenue, I mean...
It will be revenue. Ralph will be entrusted with letters that are to go to people around town. The Pick-a-Peck are going to do everything in their power to keep Ralph away from Toucan.
So I won't be in there sorting letters so much.
If they see you coming back before, like, quote unquote end of shift hours and you're done delivering letters, they will give you something else to do. Very panically.
Nice. Nice.
It's like, oh no, Buchanan came back from vacation. She doesn't need this. She can't go on another vacation. We don't know how to run this place by ourselves.
The doctor says if she has one more heart attack, it's curtains.
Oh no.
One more beak blast and the post office is going to crumble.
Oh gosh. I
Tubby-
feel like Ralph's strong enough to like deliver notes to like maybe places just outside of town too.
Oh, certainly. Tubby, somebody
Yo.
said something that actually might be a good little note. I know that Ralph and Mawa will try to figure out that sword. Showing it to Blaze might not be a bad idea, actually. Somebody asked.
I mean, I know it's a sword, but maybe. I know it's a sword. He's a smith, like he's a blacksmith, not so much a gunsmith.
Yeah, but he might
Correct.
be able to figure out some additional information or saying, possibly. Or at least like tell you, oh, it's made of this alloy.
If we completely run into a dead end, perhaps. It's almost certainly not a metal that is commonly worked with by Pokemon. It's at least like titanium or some shit.
Oh,
Yeah, and I do remember that I made it very clear. Blaze will not know how to get the gun part functioning again, and
Oh.
the sword part functions just fine.
Okay.
So, like, getting the Reaver to full functionality is a technology challenge. It's not a smithing challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, he's probably never forged the metal it's made out of. In fact, you showing him that armor is probably the first time he's ever seen that alloy.
Not necessarily, but that's because of
It
his
would be-
circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, the other pioneers will have brought him crazy shit.
Yeah, and
Like
he's
him
gone
seeing, him seeing crazy new stuff for the first time is unironically, like him seeing abnormal stuff is probably the norm for him.
yeah, he's traveled the world. So him seeing a metal he's not familiar with is like, huh, okay, let's see what this does. It's part of why he's not sure if he can really do anything with the helmet, because most of what he's going to end up doing is tearing out bits. That said, hang on, I need to give Ralph money. Ralph, you will earn. I'm just gonna put it in your bag. You will earn 20 poke for your day at the post office.
Nice.
Rida,
Yes.
you are able to scry yourself. It's real weird to see yourself in the reflection, knowing that you're staring at yourself. There is a bit of the infinite fractal thing going on in the scrying, which is, if you focus on that part too hard, it is going to give you a headache.
Yeah,
So-
no, not focusing on that part.
The scry is working,
Hmm.
and now I need you to do an insight survival alert. Which I know it's the same role as your scrying, but not necessarily using scrying.
Okay. Checks out.
So, whether it's just you're focusing too hard on keeping the scrying up, or you're not sure what to look for, or it's the incoming pounding self-inflicted migraine, you're not sure how the heck you're being caught. This is new. This is very new, in fact. Because you've scried plenty of Pokemon before, and especially, the rest of Team Cheer, and nobody caught you before. Even Tiber didn't catch you before.
You're losing your edge, kid.
But yeah, realizing this, Rida sort of lets out a somewhat frustrated sigh as they stop the whole scrying and let themselves like recover for a bit. And then basically they're going to keep repeating this process over and over again until they figure out how to sense themselves.
Okay. You will probably not figure that out today.
Mm-hmm.
And Tucker is going around trying to figure out how to deal with Puppy in his absence.
You know, here's the thing. It's kind of funny. It is officially 2 sessions where Tucker has one very specific goal to talk to Brooke about Puppy and can't do it. So, I think actually, since there's something that can be done for that for now, specifically I just had the thought that, well, Tucker was told that, Puppy's basically becoming too much of a puffle, unfortunately. Not really fault puppies, but they're learning moves, they're getting stronger, they're too rambunctious basically at this point. So, one thing that might be an interesting idea is Tucker might suggest the Puppy to basically attack Tucker. Basically, show me your moves, basically. Show me what you're doing. Show me what you're doing.
Show me what you got.
Plus, it would help get them a little less rambunctious, at least for a little bit, too. To let them basically have a friendly battle, basically, but not one where Tucker would be fighting back.
Ah, very good. Now let's see their combo.
Yeah, like the start of an RPG where you have the trainer guys like, yeah, go ahead and attack me, I'll teach you your moves.
Yeah, you're training in yourself.
Yeah. And also, it's probably smart just to get familiar with, like, okay, so Puppy is being a handful. Let's see firsthand what can Puppy do. Let's see what they've learned. Let's see what they can, let's see what their power levels are like.
All right. Well, you get to train with Puppy. Well, more like you are trying to train Puppy. And they seem to know a number of moves, including things like the Elemental Fangs, which is odd, perhaps, since you're not certain where they could have picked that up.
Yeah. Because I know a few, Tucker knows a few, but they're all, like, folks that they learned. Puppy's still young and yet just uses them? Which ones, by the way?
They know Fire, Thunder, and Ice Fang.
Yeah, the 3 main staples for elemental things.
Yes. And, of course, they also know Bite. Why, or in their case, it's more like Chew.
Tucker does say basically, like, truly just, go after me, basically. So it's completely understandable if some damage is going to be taken in the process of this.
You'll take a little. Puppy seems to understand that this is more like play fighting, but you will end up taking 3 damage over the course of this.
Okay.
In spite of Puppy's best efforts to not.
So Bite and the Thunder. So Tucker definitely gets an idea of why Puppy needs to go to a more appropriate environment for what he can do, what they can do now and stuff. Because Fire, Thunder, and Ice Fang all can cause their own problems, especially if not well directed all the time. So, but basically after the kind of one way spar, Tucker will congratulate Puppy on doing a good job showing all the moves, and give them a pat.
Puppy is very happy. So, now I have another question. What are you all doing on the second day? Brooke is gone. We don't need to go into any little scenes or anything, but it would be nice to know if you have any specific activities in mind.
Ryda's gonna continue their scrying training.
It's late, and I'm not going to make you roll more than you already have. You will eventually figure it out. Because it seems your scrying generates a psychic eye of sorts that allows you to view things, and it's why your scrying only has a limited field of vision.
Can I... Okay, then what I do on the second day is, could I quickly buy items? Just a few things.
Yes.
I was thinking, what's the cost of a couple Reviver Seeds and a couple Oran Berries?
Oh, shoot. I need to
restock
pull
a
out...
little bit.
I'd need to pull out the book, I think. Hang on, let me see. What's the cost on here? It'll cost 1,000 per Reviver Seed.
Oh gosh, those are expensive. I was wondering how expensive they were. Oh, that's a hard decision, but also they kinda may have saved a life, so given that that's yeah, because if you notice, if you look at everybody's items right now, we don't have much for on the way of healing anymore. I think the best we have is actually everybody's just basically.
Don't you guys have a bunch of salves in storage?
Actually, let's see. Do we?
We do.
Yeah, a bunch.
We have a bunch of stuff in storage.
You've got the blue candy, the red candy.
Okay, actually, might be smart for. Yeah, Tucker may
There's even
raid
1,000
the. Okay.
gold in storage.
Tucker will raid the storage for some stuff that might be useful. Because let's see.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in the storage you guys haven't actually touched.
Taps into.
Okay, I'm gonna. You probably take another root salve, and keep in mind too. Tuckers just take items for themselves, so if the rest of the people currently in town want to take items, Why can't I grab this item? It's not letting me grab it. Oh,
it's because I'm in here searching.
Oh, that's why.
As a side note, not all that honey is there.
Oh no, there's phantom honey.
There's a reason for that.
Okay, I'm gonna take one root salve, so I have 2 root salves. What else do we have for us? Oh yeah, the candy. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Do you dare to take the candy?
No. What does the honey have an effect, or is it just honey? Also, okay.
It's just unprocessed honey at the moment. It is edible. So you could take it with you as rations or as a trade item.
But I just remembered, I think Lorantis needs that.
Yeah, we've been feeding some to Lorantis.
Yes. So some of it may be gone due to Lorantis. Some of it is gone for another reason.
Okay.
Ooh.
Tucker will not take any... Oh, that's interesting. Tucker will not take any honey, though, because they were there for the whole... Lorantis has a very, specific diet they need, and the honey works for it, so... not gonna touch that. It's basically their food. Yeah, I guess looking at storage, there's plenty of root salves. I guess we'll take another root salve. So we'll have 3 in total now in our inventory. And a burn salve. And that's a hard decision. Do we buy a reviver seed? Gosh, you know what? Yeah, I think so. If there is a market with one.
Definitely comes in clutch.
Okay, here, have half my money, Car.
Oh no, don't sound so dejected over actually spending your money.
At least you're not a hoarder.
Actually had any.
Well, guys, so, I wonder if I should...
Cough, cough,
Thank
Ryda.
And... cough, cough. I just realized... How's the poison barb work that I've just been kind of holding on to?
That is a held item.
Right. Adds damage to a certain type of moves. What?
Yeah, it adds +1 damage to poison type moves.
Poison... Oh, right, it has to be on poison moves. Which I don't have any, so...
Yes.
Unless I get poison thing, at which point that suddenly becomes useful.
Yeah, I think that was one of the random loots you had at one point. So it's one of the things you could totally have this sword. You have the strength to hold it, and you went no.
Sword?
Yeah, the Reaver.
Oh! Oh, it does poison?
No, the Reaver doesn't do poison, but its
Okay.
weapons are a held item.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
Yeah. The Reaver being the thing I gave to Blaze? No, that was the different thing.
No,
No,
it-
I'm holding the Reaver.
Oh, you're holding the Reaver, right? Oh,
in
right, because
fact-
I had it for a second. Right.
funnily enough, Ryda's weapon is poison type.
Yup.
I was gonna say, I felt like there is a poison type weapon. You know what, though? Oh, they're full up on things. What do they have? They have the, right.
Yeah,
Would they want
unfortunately,
that,
it's-
though? Would they want-
Unfortunately, it's a held item, not a garment.
Right. Would the scythe work with the poison barb?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, basically, Tucker's gonna
Yeah,
do inventory
I-
thing too. That's the answer. I guess I'll get a reviver seed. I haven't actually put one in my inventory. Oh, you gave
Yeah,
me
I
one.
boosted my zapper with the magnet.
Yeah.
Wait.
All right, and what is Ralph doing on day 2?
Well, we're definitely gonna go into town and pick up a new bowl since, you know, we accidentally
exploded.
shattered Mawil's bowl.
Oh no, one whole poke gets you a set of bowls.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
can I get them? Can I get like a custom finish on them, or paint job on them, like
If
engraved?
you pay 2 coin apples, you will be able to get a set of 3 bowls, and they'll all be painted differently. They're little ceramic bowls.
Nice. I kind of want to get some with like our face
Sorry.
on them and like little, yeah, little. Yeah, that'll be cute. Ooh, and because I'm a dork, I'm gonna go to the there was like a small like cloth / garment / sewing shop here, right?
There's the Kakuna that has all of the cloth and garment stuff, yes.
Yes.
Or rather,
Um,
the Beedrill whose lower half is still Kakuna.
Yeah, we're gonna go to them, cause a dork. I kind of want a set of his and hers, like towels or like cloths. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep,
like
I'm just
one
gonna
towel set.
take the rest of your singleton coin apples and say that you get the dorky, cute his and hers towels and terry cloth, the set.
Nice. Yeah. That's so adorable. Yeah, that's the only thing that was in my mind.
Tuppy and Kark, I'm not going to interrupt the Kyrio scenes happening, but could I talk to you after that about something?
About
Oh, I thought I had, but again, I don't want to get in the way of Kyrio, especially if he's waiting to stay up.
Oh, no,
We
no,
could
no,
do a
no.
post
Go
session.
ahead.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna get to the actual cave until next session anyway.
Well, I'm a little bit of a derp, so it kind of clicked with me today, or just recently, that you were really pushing me to have the Railgun Reaver. Weren't you, Kark?
you do not have to take it, especially since Ralph now has it. It was one of those things where this is a thing that you guys can take. It's just not 100% functional. That's all.
Well, it just occurred to me that its typing is still psychic, and those are 2 things I don't do. But that is one of those things is something that Ralph already does. So, as far as like, I've been having a goal of type spread, so that's interesting actually. Now that I'm looking at it a bit more.
Well, you've also handed the blade arm to Blaze, and
True.
there will be things that come of that.
I guess we'll see what happens with that now at this point. But anyways, I wanted to say sorry that I didn't pick up the hint for a little while. There was quite a few sessions where I was like, wait a minute, that's been going on for a while. I could have had that. So.
It's hard not to want your game to have a Sif, okay?
Everybody does want it, so I'm interested. I just don't know how to approach it in character. Like, yeah, sword time. Like, I think I do want to have a sword in character, but I need to figure out how to talk about it. That's why I was kind of awkward the play scene a little bit, because I was like, yes, I do think we want a sword, but also I haven't really figured out my full motivations on that yet as a character, so...
You also need to get a certain garment back from the seamstress at some point.
Yeah, what did she have from mine?
Your maid uniform.
Yes, that's right. It was in HQ storage. I wasn't sure if it was in storage or if it was with her. I thought so.
Last I recall, it was with her, yes.
Okay, so what I need to do is get my refitted that, and then the sword, and then I could have a battle made outfit thinking. Yeah, I see where I can go with this.
I have plans.
Oh, that's cool as shit. That is a super cool idea.
I
have plans, I promise.
Okay. I hope we can go back to Seamstress sometime.
You could just go yourself.
You could?
Do I need to pay her still? That's why I was a little leery about spending.
Probably.
Yeah. Do I have enough?
You should have enough.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. I'll do favors if I need to.
Just bring her a tin of biscuits, it's fine.
Alright, the biscuits. Who had those? I gotta get more. Actually, wait. That was also what I'll do day 2. Because I'm in the market already. Wasn't it somebody from the market that had biscuits?
There is a bakery in town.
Yes, biscuits will be picked up.
Okay. I will not bother making an item card for that, because it's a tin of biscuits.
It's 10 biscuits.
She uses them to store her sewing supplies.
Take this 100 poke, I guess, for it? Here you go.
What? No.
Oh.
What are you gonna do? Buy, like, 50 tins of biscuits?
Oh, I just thought biscuits cost money. Free biscuits sound great.
I mean, yes, they cost money, but not that much money.
Okay.
And I'm being a lazy and nice storyteller,
Yay!
okay?
You just had some pocket change. You just
They're not
lifted up
known.
one of the couch cushions in the base.
Something. Your base now has coffers of money. You know, because your team is bringing back money. But at the very least, before we end, I know that we can start the cave.
Okay.
So, we can go to E2 number 3, which should be a familiar tune for the cave. Which, again, sorry, I did the rewind. I deleted Deadeye, which was a tragedy.
Honestly, I was pressing something weird on the HUD when that happened, and I thought I did that. So fair enough, though. I'm glad I did it. It's okay, though. Oh, wait, the rewind. Did I get my items? Okay, I still have my items. Just making sure.
There we go. Sorry, it took me a minute to get music up. So, Brooke,
Yes.
you and Deadeye make it to the Cave of Mirrors late on the second day of travel. The conversations that you two have had, as much as they can be called conversations, given it's Deadeye, have made time fly by. It's also caused your pace to slow just a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're there, and surprisingly, Prince Seal is there. Out front, doing his best to pretend to stand guard. along with Hakamo.
Oh, Zeal. I was wondering where you went.
Oh, hi! And they just bound over with a great big grin. Hakamo sighs. You're not supposed to run over and greet them. We're supposed to guard the cave. But it's so boring. Nothing happens. Nobody's gonna attack the cave. I mean, you have a point, but Dad said we had to. Oh,
Guard duty, huh? That's rough.
I am learning the discipline. Deadeye does not look impressed.
Well, you were sitting in one space for more than 10 minutes as far as I saw. And that's a new record. Brooke grins at him.
This time it was 36 minutes and 12 seconds. I counted.
Great.
Hakamo walks over. They happen to have a spear with them, too. This seems to be made of metal, for the most part. Yeah, I'm surprised he can count that high. No offense, Zeal. That is Kobo. He will appear soon.
How's your dad doing?
They frown, looking to the dirt, like kicking a little bit. He says he's better, but there's still rust.
Brooke nods. He really helped us out, you know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. They shake their head, scales jingling slightly. They put on a smile, looking up to you and Deadeye.
Brooke kind of rubs.
He did what he thought was right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Brooke kind of rubs his head and says, yeah, I know, but I still feel like I should have said sorry a long time ago.
What happened wasn't your fault. And who knows what would have happened if he hadn't, you know?
Well, no use worrying about it, I guess. Brooke smiles.
Agreed. We shouldn't waste much more time. It would be disrespectful, wouldn't it?
Right. It's not the immediate past that I need to worry about. He mumbles to himself. And he says, I'd like to take the next trial.
Hakamo nods. They glance over to Deadeye. And then motion for you to follow as they head down to the cave. Zeal takes up position behind you, as long as his patience allows before he bounds ahead. I'd be surprised if they remembered me. He has his hands clasped behind his back as he follows alongside Brooke down into the soft, luminescent chambers of the caverns. Small correction to that. They did not intervene. Well, no. Maybe?
They did a little bit, but they backed off mostly quickly.
I think they stood up for you, but they're not the reason you guys got into the cavern when running
Right,
away.
no, that's true.
I can't remember how he got injured.
He broke the rules of the mirror to let
Yes.
confront Tiber.
So there was like he didn't get directly injured by somebody. It was because he broke the rules of the mirror that he got injured,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. They broke the rules and allowed the rest of you to participate.
You broke the rules. You broke the rules. Now everyone's gonna be mad. Anyone
this
remember
cave-
that meme?
I don't. And the cave is sort of a mystical thing, and they are the cave stewards. So since they broke the rules, that basically hurt them in a sort of mystical way.
You find your way down to the main chamber. It's still different than the first time you came to the cave. The marks Eternatus left in the stone are still there. And the mirror that you all came from, that Eternatus extruded from, is cracked, dark compared to the rest. But the soft rattling and clinging of Kamo's scales draws your attention away from that. Ah, welcome back. Where's the rest of your team? I would have expected them to be here to support you.
Brooke chuckles and nervously rubs his head. This was kind of spur of the moment, to be honest. And they've got their own things to worry about right now.
He strokes at his chin, eyes drifting over towards Deadeye. Is that so? Well, I suppose I cannot fault you for your courage.
Besides, I've got someone with me who helps me feel stronger.
That brings something of a toothy smile to Kamo's face. Do you have something to say, old man? Nothing at all. I just think it's very fitting that the two of you have found each other.
Brooke sort of tilts his head, but doesn't say anything.
Then right this way. We'll be using this passage. They gesture towards a passage that you have not been down in your previous visits. This one is taller than the others. The mirrors in this section are broad, with faceted surfaces, each lined with crystalline growths like mirror frames of differing size and cluster and shape. Akamo and Seal follow along either side of you and Deadeye, with Kamo taking the lead. He stops at a mirror about a third of the way into this passage and gestures toward it. In sum, there are many possibilities. And this is the passage, the path that they walk. And so, I bring them here. It is not one that I bring Pokemon to often, but it is always interesting to see what path they choose.
Brooke kind of hesitates while looking at the mirror.
There are many reflections of you inside. All of them are of your current form, though.
He'll glance back at Deadeye for a moment. And then nod and step forward towards it.
Win. Deadeye does their impression of encouraging you, Brooke, as they move over and lean against the opposing wall. Their head tilted in such a way that the wide brim of their hat hides their face in its entirety. Kumo just chuckles. Ah, they came a while ago. Think of this as just catching up. And they step back away from the mirror. We can stop the music. One by one, your faceted reflections fall away, fading into an abyssal darkness. And just as it threatens to consume your gaze, familiar, gleaming eyes peer out from the dark. At last, you have come.
I spent a lot of time trying to ignore or run away from my past. I think I'm done running now, though.
Is that so? Then let us see if you can bear the weight of your own decisions. What seems to burst forth from the mirror is a maw, large, impossibly so, crocodilian in nature, rows upon rows of fangs. And it snaps shut around you with the sound of crashing water. And that is where we will end for tonight.
Ooh, wonderful.
Always
Session.
with the good cliffhangers.
I am so glad I don't have to wait 2 weeks for this.
Next week.
Yes,
Next week.
this was a catch-up, so we are doing next week. I am now
Thank you
I'm
very
now
much, Car.
aware of that at this moment. Yes, I could do it next week. I just didn't remember that. In fact, I was going to suggest it because... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm glad you're excited. I am also excited, and I hope people enjoyed this session.
Same.
Yeah, this has been amazing. Like, this has been a pretty good one.
I want to say that after next week, I'm glad that thank you for making this a makeup that we can do next week, another one, because I am sorry. I'm still very sorry about the last session not working out because I wasn't feeling great. After the next session we do, I believe we'll go back to a 2-week schedule, but I also can't promise we will immediately resume because if all goes well, I might be moving by the time the session after the next one rolls around. So I'll keep you guys informed because I gotta kind of play by the ear as far as how this is going, the movie thing. But it all depends, of course, how that bar at the top fills too. Like that, how quickly we can accelerate things also depends on that. So also, I guess I may as well say, if you can donate, please consider it. We're trying to get things moving here, and I basically have to be out of this apartment by the end of May. So, yeah, just giving you guys a time frame. I will try to keep everybody informed when it comes to Pokerole, but there will have to be a hiatus coming up at some point soon. Not immediately, though. Not immediately. Just keep you guys informed. I wanted to say that before people. I wanted to say that before people left. But I'll communicate more, of course, in the Pokerole DMs, the private DMs thing we have. So, But anything you guys want to say or talk about before I outro?
Experience.
Everybody get 5 XP.
Yes, XP. That makes sense. Okay. 5. Tubby adding his
I
XP?
got in prison. Sweet.
I have not. Let me go ahead and do that.
Okay. I knew you hadn't because you have that too. So that's definitely less than 5.
My move pool is glorious.
Everybody has spent their XP. Once again, I'm feeling a stockpile. This keeps happening to me.
Also, I think I might want to write a glimpse about Ryda's training, because, yeah, I didn't fully dive into all of the things Ryda was feeling when they stormed away from Ralph and Tucker.
That's fair. Might be a good idea, then.
You all are free to write glimpses about what y'all were doing in town. It is the perfect time to do so.
I gotta think about it, though.
If I have a good idea, I'll write it.
Here we are. It sounds like a lot of fun. I think I could do a cute, dorky shopping piece.
Also, Cart, if you want me to have some sort of model ready for the next session, maybe give me a little hint as to what Brooke is about to face, I guess. In private.
We are going to need a Totodile, a Croconaw, and a Feraligatr.
Okay, I can do that.
Spicy.
Actually, let me just see, because I could just do it in advance. I think all those exist in the bag already, except for Croconaw. Well, actually, no, Totodile's gone.
Those are 3 models I know we are going to need in advance.
And none of them are in the bag. That's really weird. Okay, I'll just do that. Well, I'll do that post-outro. I'll add it to the bag. Have it ready. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the session today. I agree. It was a nice session. It was nice to have. There was nice bunch of little cool talks. A lot of conversations today in the session.
Yeah, right. It was very chatty.
Yes, and so was Tucker. But it's more surprising when Ryan's chatty though.
I know, right? Like.
Philosophical conversation was not what. Again, that one scene I did not expect to have happen. The other ones, sure, but that one scene was actually kind of a surprise.
Those are the best kind of scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones just kind of come out of nowhere because it just comes naturally. That's always fun. I might, if I run, I'll think about writing a glimpse. That's a good idea. If I write a glimpse, maybe I'd write a glimpse about the little spiral puppy, because that sounds kind of interesting, maybe. But yes, in any case, everybody, I hope you enjoyed session 145 of Pokerole, and 146 will be literally next week, because this was technically a makeup stream. So 146 will be next week, and then 2 weeks after that, I think I could still do 147. But after that, there'll probably be a hiatus. We will see how it goes. And it's not just going to be a Pokerole hiatus, I should point out. It's going to be a complete hiatus, because it's a move. It's an international move. We're going to be a little bit busy. The computer won't be hooked up to anything. I won't have internet. You get the idea. So, yeah, big hiatus. I'll let you guys, of course, I'll try to keep you guys informed. If you want to stay up to date on that, make sure to follow the Discord. If you haven't, that's the best place to get information about how we're doing. But yeah, in any case, just wanted to get that big update. Please consider helping the donations so that we can get this move underway faster and faster, because, again, like, I have to leave at the end of May. So the faster we get the move going, the safer it is to get the move going, because, we're not pushing a deadline. But in any case, good night, everyone. Have a lovely evening or morning or whenever you're watching this. And I'll see you guys for session 146 next Wednesday. Good night.
Bye.
Night.